welcome to the stream, welcome to the stream, welcome to the stream. Two things we'll get before I load into the game here. Really quickly, possibility that unless the first, usually on Saturday nights, I read about 2 sections, 2 chapters or whatever into Higurashi. Unless this first one is really short, I might have to just cap it at 1 tonight. Apologies about that for sure. It's a couple things that we won't get into, but so it might be slightly, maybe, dependingly, shorter than normal Saturday Higurashi stream, so hope you understand. Second thing I wanted to say is a slight personal story, but I thought funny enough to share. I also think this is safe enough place for me to share such a story, so I just thought it'd be just slightly interesting. Let's say in the past several days, I went on a date with someone. Now, don't clap too loud for me. But it's funny. So we're just doing. I think this was at the. We went to like a coffee place. We're sharing a coffee drink and just talking or whatever. And I don't know how the conversation got to this point, because I certainly didn't bring up like anything. Like usually it's like don't start talking about video games or whatever. So I definitely didn't bring up anything. But and I'm talking about this because it's related to Higurashi. I should have said that probably. But somehow the conversation got to video games, and they were like, oh, they're talking. I think at some point we were talking about like. I'm trying to not hit specifics because, I'm trying to be somewhat vague about a personal story kind of thing. But we were basically talking about, I think at some time it evolved into some video games we were currently playing. And they told me some games they were playing. And I was like, oh, that's really good. For some reason, they were starting to like replay. They were talking about Super Mario Brothers World or something. And of course I had to like shit talk World because I'm like, Mario Brothers 3 is so much better. Something along those lines. But then it got to my turn. I was like talking about some games I was playing. So I was like, let's see, I'm finally getting around to starting like Cyberpunk, and that's been a lot of fun. It's a slow time, but it's a slow burn. But there's a lot of things to do. It's kind of overwhelming, yada yada yada. Talking about Cyberpunk there. Then I said, also I'm playing this small little, chill time Metroidvania game called Yars Rising, whatever happening there. And then time essentially like froze in front of my face. And I looked down, I looked like a distant stare as time slowed and froze. And I saw 2 paths in front of me. And I saw one path where for the third game I talk about that I'm currently playing, I bring up Higurashi. And everything that would entail about talking about Higurashi. And then the other path I saw was completely don't talk about Higurashi for many reasons. Hard to explain. How do I explain it? What am I talking about? It's already a niche video game type, visual novel, sound novel, whatever you want to say. I was like, again, it's like a first date type situation. You're already slipping into like, again, I didn't bring up video games. So don't judge me. But I'm like, and for some reason, as time slowly started beginning to like pick back up, time stopped moving. I decided to go down the first path. And I was like, also, I'm playing this game called Higurashi. And immediately, I could, like... Credit to this person, didn't immediately look at me strangely, but I was like, so basically it's like, and I try to give it, because again, you can't go into like specifics, because like how the hell am I gonna sit there and try to explain it? I'm like, and it's like, the thing is, it's one of those like bad decisions that I've made where like you can't just like dismiss it. You can't start and then see it go poorly and then go, we can just forget about it. Like at that point, my mouth is just like a leaky faucet. I'm just talking about Higurashi, and I'm not going into specifics and everything, but I'm like, It's like a visual novel, so it's a lot of reading, just reading, and it's just a long, convoluted story. It's about these kids in this club, and that's when they started looking at me like, what? And I'm like, it's not as weird as it kind of sounds, but it's like a big mystery, and then things start happening, and it starts getting really weird. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to save it. I'm like, my boat is like taking on water, and I'm just like trying to like shovel it out, and I'm just like, I gotta see myself out of this conversation, like as quick as I can, wrap this up, kind of thing. And then I double down on bad decisions, and I go, I start trying to slightly explain it in the context that I'm reading it on stream, and that there is at least one person who listens to the streams of me reading this visual novel. And at that point, I'm like, I'm in way too deep. I've given so much unnecessary information. I've committed so many unforced errors. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, and I'm reading it, and it's just a lot of reading. I do it about like 2 times a week normally, and I'm reading, and they're just looking at me like not like mind blown, but also like, what is it you were explaining to me? Like, it's not like she didn't know what streams were, and it's not like she didn't know what visual novels were, but the combination of them didn't make much sense. I could tell in their face. And I'm like, I know it's weird. And then they were like, she said something along the lines of, because at some point I was like, yeah, and I know like there's at least one person who listens to me reading this visual novel. Like, they're just along for the ride. I even said, I was like, most of the people that I think watch it end up like, I would say most, because I know there's some people, I can guarantee that there's at least one person I know that has not read Higurashi and is watching me play through it. But that's besides the point. I was like, I know there's at least one. I was like, most people that I think listen to it like have already read it, and so they're just re-experiencing it through the lens of someone else, and that just blew their fucking mind at that point. And then they were like, I'm pretty sure if I was just listening to that, I would just like fall asleep. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. And then, not as weird as those first two decisions I ended up making. But the third somewhat thing that I didn't necessarily have to say, I was like, I guess there's a possibility someone is. There's a possibility someone's like falling asleep to my voice, which again, I say possibility. I don't know. I know that's a possibility. People put on streams all the time to like fall asleep to or whatever. I then, in my trademark like self-deprecating way, I was like, I would find it hard for anyone to fall asleep to my voice in particular. I feel like my voice is. I said something along the lines of like, my voice is just the right unsettling tone or cadence or sound or something, where I was like, I don't know if anyone can fall asleep to my voice or anything. Because of course I have to shit on myself at any chance I get. But yeah, that was like I said, so many unforced, I don't want to call them mistakes because it's just like whatever, but it was just like one of those things where I make a choice in the moment and then I just keep going. I just keep going down that path, and I just cannot. The baseball coach wants the kids to wear maid costumes, but I swear it's not sussy at all. Oh boy. See, that's the thing. Like, I could not go into any details because I was already in risky business at that point. And I was like, if I start to explain anything, I'm trying to remember, it was a few days ago at this point, but I was like, I don't know if I can get into, I think the closest I got to like plot was just saying like, some kids in a club group, and then I was like, things go wrong and there are some murders. I think those are like the high level details I ended up giving to this person who probably didn't need to know anything about Higurashi. Oh god. And like I said, I don't think it was like the worst decision. Trust me, I've made many worse talking point decisions in my lifetime on like first dates or whatever. I don't know what came over me though. Like, I don't know why I thought, because like I said, she was already aware of like the couple of games I'd already basically that I had talked about mostly. It was concluded. I could have stopped at 2, and then I was like, well, there's this third one. So that's that story. I just thought it was funny. Like I said, no, it's no deep meaning to the story, but it was Higurashi related. Um, Maybe someone better than me would be able to explain to a stranger Higurashi just slightly more than I could. I thought I was up to the task. I thought it was fine. Maybe there's like a deep part of my brain that I was like hoping. God, could you imagine if I was like, yeah, and there's this visual novel called Higurashi, and then they went like, oh, I'm currently reading Higurashi too. Or even better, they go, wait, are you this person online? That's like that's the start of like a fictionalized meet cute type thing. They go like, oh, I've been listening to this guy online who's working through it. Wait, are you bubman14? I fucking wish, apparently. uh so funny. All right. Also, the thing is, I like I said, I'm telling a slightly personal story, but like there are some key things that like in my head, I was even debating if I should like talk about them in here, and then there's like some key points that I'm like omitting from the story because like it would make for a slightly better story, but then it starts getting into like deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole of like personal story wise, and like you know, I need to protect myself just slightly, just barely, not much, but barely. Maybe another time, maybe a story for another time. No, my actual hope is that I say Higurashi, and then this person goes home that day or next day or whatever, and looks into Higurashi, and then finds like just types Higurashi in online, and then just comes across like the weirdest things. And then the idea of me is forever tainted in their minds. I'll always be that one guy that really awkwardly brought up Higurashi at a coffee place. But hey, at least that's some kind of lasting mark, right? If that was the case, if that's what happened. All right, let's do a quick recap. So last stream was not the toy thing. That was a week ago on Saturday. Tuesday was the let's see, classroom. Shion was there. I think Rika noticed, or maybe no, it wasn't Rika because we spent last stream through the eyes of Ketchi. I think Ketchi realized that Shion was friendly with Satoko, which was a big deal. God, what happened Tuesday? I feel like it's been 2 weeks since Tuesday. That's not the case. It's impossible. I just remember that. I think that's always... It's a great recap. I think my last recap was pretty good on Tuesday, so we were due for a dud. Rika spoke to Hanyu. Yes. Yeah. Was it the talking with Hanyu during the alcohol thing? The threatening with the alcohol? I think that's what it was, right? Or was that a week ago as well? No, I think of the alcohol thing. Hanyu's like, I don't like alcohol. Enrique's like, I'm gonna drink the alcohol. Or I'm gonna threaten you with onions or something. Onions? I don't know why I'm thinking onions. She said she was going to ask Irie for help. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Okay, I recall this. Okay, so there was like, she basically, if I, correct me if I'm wrong, but Rika was like, basically, again, she's trying to piece together what it is she can do, to who she can ask for help so that she doesn't die. We're ultimately coming to the conclusion, something I probably should have realized a long time ago. Rika wants to protect herself, seemingly. That is the end goal. Now, you could extrapolate that and say, oh, it's protecting more than just herself. But basically, to boil it down to the simplest situation, she doesn't want to die. She doesn't want to be murdered. She doesn't know how she dies, apparently. There was some line about how, like, every time coming up to the point where she dies or she's murdered or whatever, like, her memory right before, like, that happens, like, it, like, her memory, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I don't think it said this, but I imagine, like, a staticky television. It just, she can't recall how this is happening each time. So then she formulates, basically, she's like, well, there's only a few people in all these cycles that I think I could actually ask for help and who might have solutions. Some adults in this situation. I think she basically boils it down to Takano and Tomatake and Irie. And she goes, well, we get to the festival, and every time Takano and Tomatake die. So they don't seem very helpful. Now, I would come back and say, even if they don't die, I don't think they'd be very helpful. But that's just my opinion. So then she goes, well, basically, let's go to Irie. And that was, I think, basically how she deduced that. She was like, well, there's these three people, and Takano and Tomatake, they just kind of die, and we don't get much time with them. Because they come in, they come for the festival or around this, you know. I think part of the reasoning was, like, it's not like they're always there at the village. So she can't prep with them earlier. So they come in for the festival. There's not a lot of time with them. So best bet is probably Irie since he's already there, kind of thing. I think that's where we're kind of at. So we might, that might be where we go today. I found out who's making the footstep noise in all the loops. Yes. Oh yeah, I did piece that together. Maybe I should have known that, figured that out earlier. Well, maybe not. But it was, yeah, you're right, though. I did piece it together it was essentially confirmed. It was basically spelled out, and I linked it to the whole thing, right? That Hanyu, when she's around people, because I think the line at the end of the thing last stream was talking about how, like, I think it was because Satoko, technically, while she was, like, sleepy there, I'm remembering this. She was sleepy and she actually heard the footsteps or something of Hanyu. And Hanyu's like, they can't hear me. Only you can see me and hear me. And then Rika's like, no, look, Satoko picked up on your footsteps or something. Right there. And then it's basically, again, not 100% spelled out, but basically said. And then I was like immediately like, oh yeah, that makes sense then. That she spends time with or near people. It was something like, when I think the specific line was something like when they're most in trouble or something like that, then they're able to, like, pick up and sense that Hanyu is around them or something like that. I'm doing a very, like, vague hand gesture with my hand. Hand gesture with my hand. That makes sense. Right. So yeah, I did piece that. Thank you for giving me some kind of credit for something I figured out. Thank you for reminding me that I figured something out. I appreciate it. All right, like I said, unless this is really short, we might only get one section in tonight. So enjoy potentially just the one chapter here. Clear my throat. Oh, we're at the clinic. Oh, we got Irie.
リカちゃんが日曜日以外に診療所にいらっしゃるなんて珍しいですね。
Hello. Surprised to see you here on a day other than Sunday.
高野とお話ししたいことがありますのです。
I have something I want to ask Takano. Oh, there was one question I meant to ask. So, unless it's a spoiler or it's something I would figure out later, I feel like I don't know. It's like on the tip of my tongue. I don't know if I should already know this bit of information or not. But it was also talked about, and I think we opened this chapter with Satoko and Rika in the doctor's room. But what is this apparent, like, experiments or something they're running on the kids here? Did I miss something? Or am I supposed to infer something? Or is this something yet to be revealed? Because I think we, if I'm remembering correctly, we opened up the chapter with tests being run. And then I think it was last stream or the stream before that, Rika was talking about, like, hey, I want to ask Irie about this. She may have said something along so like, it's the least we could do since they run these tests on us. Like, we're helping them, so they should be able to. I'll get the answers. You're not dumb, but you can guess. Oh, so it's yet to be revealed. I could guess, but okay. I wanted to make sure that I didn't just completely miss something, because it feels like that would be some kind of important information. And when it was said, I was like, that's really strange, because I was like, that's got to be something. It's now been talked about at least a couple times, and then okay. But yeah, I just wanted to confirm it wasn't that I actually missed something yet. So that's good. That was a point I wanted to ask about, because I was reviewing stream stuff, and I was like, wait, damn. Didn't want to miss. Okay. Cool. All right, well then let's go. Rika says, I have something I want to ask Takano.
今日はいますですか?
Is she here today?
いえ。
No.
多分リサさんとデートじゃないでしょうか。
She must be on a date with Risa-san.
いやいや、お羨ましい。
Ah, I wish I had a date too.
どうしてリサなのですか?
Why do you call him Risa?
よくわからない名前なのです。
I don't understand.
それは本人に聞いてみてください。
You should ask him yourself.
初対面の時のちょっとした認識ミスなんですがね。
It was a small mistake I made when we first met.
その時の先方の対応がとても面白かったもので。
It was funny how he reacted. I don't get it. That's what nicknames are all about, though.
どんなご用件ですか?
What did you want to talk to her about?
伝言でよければ今夜ミーティングがありますからその席上で伝えておきますよ。
I'll see her at the meeting tonight, so I'll take a message if you want.
ありがとうなのです。
Thank you very much.
でも直接言いますのでいいのですよ。
But I'd rather talk to her directly.
そうですか。わかりました。
I see. All right.
では私は書類事務に戻ります。
I should get back to my work now then.
今日は入江は診察はしていないですか?
Are you not seeing any patients today?
今夜のミーティングの資料作りで大忙しです。
I've been busy with paperwork for the meeting tonight.
普段から準備はしているんですがね。日々の本業に圧迫されてなかなか時間が。
I've been preparing it for a while, but I didn't have enough time.
なんて言うと準備がなってないと怒られてしまいますね。
I'll get in trouble if it's not finished in time.
それに加えて野球までやっているのですから、つくづく入江は元気だなと思いますです。
Aren't you busy coaching the baseball team too? You have so much energy.
本当に忙しいですよ。
I'm such a busy guy.
家事や秘書を代行してくれる可愛いメイドさんを常時募集中なのですが、なかなか応募がありません。
I've been looking for a cute maid who would take care of the chores and help me with other work, but I've had no such luck. Oh, aren't we all, Irie? Aren't we all? He laughed and looked at his watch. He seemed to be in a hurry.
高野たちはどこへ行っているか想像はつきますですか?
Do you have any idea where Takano is right now?
村の中をいろいろと回るだろうと思います。
They're probably going around to different places in the village.
ああ、でもいつも待ち合わせは神社の境内なんだそうですよ。
I know that they always meet at the shrine.
高野さんは半ドンで帰られましたから、ひょっとするとまだ境内にいるかもしれませんね。
She left not too long ago, so she might still be somewhere near there. I looked at the clock on the wall. I must have just missed her. This was no time to be chatting with Irie.
ありがとうなのですよ。
Thank you very much.
神社に戻ってみますです。
I'll try the shrine.
年に4度しかない仰せなんですから、あまり邪魔をしない方がいいと思いますよ。
You shouldn't bother those lovers, since they only see each other 4 times a year. Also, I think earlier I incorrectly said, like, Takano and Toмотake come in just for the festival or whatever, but that was a misspeak. I think Takano is always here. She works at this clinic and everything. It's Toмотake that comes in. And for some reason, in my head, I lumped them together. And I was like, oh, they just come in and whatever. Correction before someone types in the in chat or, I guess, comments. Actually. But I guess if they really wanted to do that already happened. Also, thanks for nothing, Irie. Jesus. He smiled mischievously and waved his hand in goodbye. I headed back to the shrine. I was going to park my bike by the stairs that led to the shrine grounds. Satoko and I are the only people who park our bikes there normally, but I saw more than 10 bikes here today. People must be gathering at the convention room. There are more and more meetings when the Nagashi festival draws closer. Seeing all these bikes reminded me that summer is nearly here. Most of the bikes were old and beat up. However, I saw 2 unfamiliar ones parked there. They were sporty mountain bikes with the same design but different colors. They must belong to Takano and Toмотake. I went up the stairs to look for the 2 of them, but I couldn't find either. Was there any place with a great view for taking pictures? I tried looking in places like that, but I still couldn't find them. So I started looking based on what Takano might be interested in. I could only think of one place. That damn place.
どう？
How is it?
ジローさん。
Jiro-san? Risa, apparently? I'm sure it's a hilarious story. Some weird mix-up where Irie called him Risa or something. Oh, it's gonna make me laugh if I get to hear it. Why couldn't Irie just tell him? Just tell the story, God. I was willing to tell a story at the start of the stream. Jesus. Alright, anyway, Toмотake says,
シンプルなタイプだと思うよ。
It's a pretty simple lock.
道具があれば多分1分とかからないよ。
All I need is the right tool. I should be able to open it in a minute.
さすがね。
You can do that?
ジローさんが得意なのは心の奥の錠前外しだけじゃないのね。
You open the lock to my heart, but that's not the only thing you're good at, huh? Damn. Damn. Smooth. Hee hee.
たたりじゃー。
I'm going to curse you! The 2 of them jumped in surprise as I suddenly appeared in front of them.
あら、リカちゃん、こんにちは。
God, that would be actually so funny if, like, for some reason, his weird nickname for Takano, or Toмотake, from Irie Risa is, like, the final key to figuring out the mystery of this game. Toмотake had the answer all along! I always just pushed him aside and thought he was a bit player in this story. Just there to die every cycle. But no, he's very important. Maybe. Unconfirmed. Takano says, hello, Rika-chan.
急に脅かすなんて人が悪いわね。
It wasn't nice of you to scare us like that.
開かずの西宮殿の鍵を開けちゃおうとする人の方がもっと悪いのです。
It's not nice to try and open the ritual storehouse's lock either. Damn, Rika got her. Got her? Got her? Got her? Rika, just murder them. I don't know.
あ
Stop
ダ
them.
メだよ高野さん
Huh? She's right, Takano-san.
やっぱり悪いことはするもんじゃないよ
We can't do something like that. Toмотake conceded right away, but Takano was stubborn. She made up excuses to try and fool me. Based on my previous lives, I knew just how much interest she had in this storehouse. It was actually rather impressive how hard she tried to cover that up. The ritual storehouse is full of the remainder of the dark history of Onigafuchi. It contains bloody and vicious tools that Takano is fascinated with. She should have a good idea as to what those things are inside of the storehouse based on what she has been researching. She was making up some story about cultural treasures and such, but it was obvious that she was just making excuses. Toмотake also seemed impressed, listening to Takano's phony justifications. In the past, I've tried to conceal what was inside the storehouse from Takano, because I don't want her spreading information about the holy and brutal traditions they used to have in Onigafuchi village. It would be a disgrace. As a member of the Furude family, I can't let that happen. That's what I'm saying, just murder her, fuck it. See what happens. I'm no nonsense today. in regards to Takano, no nonsense. Take her out. Change the history. Change fate, potentially. Looking at the history of Onigafuchi in the way Takano does is a painful thing for Hanyu as well. For Hanyu, the ritual storehouse is a special place. I don't know what's so nice about being surrounded by those scary ritual tools, but she feels cozy when she's surrounded by the smell of old times. The storage is like Hanyu's hideout. Also, I didn't necessarily talk about this yet, but, and maybe I'm overthinking or over putting importance into this, but I remember a point when I was reading Umineko and how fantastical that is as far as themes and characters and everything like that. Like, it's very not 100% grounded in like reality in a way, right? I hope that makes sense what I'm trying to say there. And I remember coming through Higurashi here, I was like, oh, this is a lot more grounded in a particular sense. There's not as fantastical of things happening necessarily. And then we started straying a bit from it in certain things. Obviously, like, we're repeating a life cycle, whatever. But then this chapter introduces this Hanyu imaginary, like, only one character can sense her really, like, powers of time travel, and then you confirm that Rika has been living all these different lives and everything, and it's just all that kind of gets thrown out the window at that point. I'm not saying this as a critical thing. I'm just saying it's very funny that, like, I came through Umineko last year, and then at least towards the start of Higurashi, in my head I was like, oh, this is going to be the much more, not like this could actually happen type story, but this is much more not fantastical is the word I keep coming to, and we'll just completely throw that out at this point. The answer all along was to kill people. That's what I'm saying. Again, we talked about Rika always being like, I've lived all these lives, and like I keep seeing the same things happen over and over. You just gotta start throwing stuff at the wall. And one of the first things I would do would just murder Takano, just for the fun of it. Just for the fun of it. This storage is like Hanyu's hideout. When I can't see her, she's usually relaxing in here. Again, I always talk about, like, I'm not unaware of how, like, the fan base of Higurashi actually cares about certain characters. Like, I have because I refuse to look online about what general opinion of certain characters. I really hope I'm not by myself in hating Takano as much as I do. I gotta, if I come out of Higurashi here, and then I go online in a couple more months once I finish it, and see general opinion, like, I could totally see everyone being like, oh, I'm a big Takano fan, and me just be like, I can't fucking believe this. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. The first, like, few chapters, again, it's quite outlandish, but at least things seem grounded. And then you start getting the hints of, like, Rika, the Rika thing, and then you like Rika's has some, you know, thing going on. Even like go back as early as like chapters 4, 5, and whatever 6 or whatever, when it starts like drip feeding you that Rika, there's something deeper behind Rika's character. And then in this chapter, it all just comes out. It's like, okay, well, here's what's actually happening. Hanyu has some kind of horns on her head, and I can only assume those aren't just decoration. Those are actual horns of some sort. So there's that. Anyway, she continues, when I can't see her, she's usually relaxing in here. I don't want Hanyu's happy place to be turned into the bloody, horrifying den of evil Takano believes it to be. That's why I've been keeping Takano away from the ritual storehouse. Come to think of it, why am I so mean to her? Is it because I hate her? Yes. I should stop feeling that way. I have to keep in close contact with Takano and Toмотake. I won't give up just because it didn't work before. The game is not over. Maybe I'll change my mind or my opinion on Takano. You're right. Maybe these last 2 chapters are really Takano's redemption arc, you know? So true. That is such a good point. Always be open to the possibility of Takano redeeming herself in these last 2 chapters. I can't be so closed-minded. You're so right, chat. You're so right, chat member. You're so right. I can't close my mind off to the possibility. I'm gonna be the biggest Takano fan when this is over. I'm willing to change. I won't give up just because it didn't work before. I'm going to try one more time. This world is different from the other ones. I might be able to change their fate, which in turn might change my own.
Hanyu,
Hanyu?
高野に最具殿の中を見せてあげようと思うの。
I'm thinking about showing the ritual storehouse to Takano. Hanyu made an irritated face. Takano will lose herself in ecstasy if she sees what's inside of there. She'll run around spreading rumors of the bloody history of Onikifuchi. Hanyu wasn't too excited about that prospect.
高野にごまをするわけじゃない。
I'm not trying to curry favor with Takano.
でも話を聞いてもらうきっかけにはなるんじゃないかと思うの。
But I think it might give me a chance to talk to her. So this is interesting. Instead of Rika going for the murder of Takano like I suggested, it seems as if she's going to go, instead of forcing Takano to sneak in there by herself, it seems like Rika's going for the approach of, I'm just going to break the seal myself and just let her, and go with her, potentially. Interesting. Less bloodshed than the murder. Bold strategy.
高野は根に持つから、ここで意地悪をすると、私の話をちゃんと聞いてくれないかもしれない。
Takano holds on to grudges, so if I'm mean to her now, she might not listen to me later. I understand that Hanyu doesn't want her inside this holy place, but she can't do anything more than be irritated about it. I'm the only one who can make the ultimate decision. Besides, she'll forgive me if I promise to eat something sweet later.
高野、
Takano?
もしも約束を守ってくれるのでしたら、中に入れてあげてもいいのですよ。
If you'll keep a secret, I'll let you in.
本当に？
Really?
最具殿の中よ。
Inside the ritual storehouse?
中は中でも防災倉庫の中とかはなしよ。
You don't mean inside an emergency shelter, right?
本当ですよ。
I mean it.
ちゃんと最後殿の中なのですよ。
I'll let you into the ritual storehouse.
最具殿ってここよ。
Now, I apologize. I keep breaking and interjecting here. Apologize. Apologies to the people potentially listening to this and trying to fall asleep, apparently, to my voice. That's a callback to the start of the episode. But at first, when the thing for Kechi was that he was given the task of being some, what was it? Auctioneer or something? Run the auction stall or something? I thought that was going to be what broke up this situation. Because I thought the main thing was that they didn't want I thought because we're trying to go through this timeline and change things. I thought it was just breaking up the fact that Takano and Toмотake don't take Kechi and potentially Shion into the shop or into the storehouse with them. I thought that was just going to be enough. But it seems as if Rika is attempting to just cut it here and just be like, hey, hey, we'll go to the storehouse under my supervision. She's taking the initiative. Anyway, Takano says, you mean the storehouse?
この建物の中なのよ。
Inside of this building?
別にごまかす気はありませんですよ。
I'm not trying to trick you or anything. I didn't explain what I meant. What I meant was that I thought the whole point of Kechi getting the job was to keep him busy during the festival so that he didn't sneak off. That's what I didn't... I think I said that earlier, but whatever.
ちゃんとこの中に入れてあげますです。
I'll let you inside.
ニパー。
Nippa!
Nippa!
I hate it. I'd never seen such a big smile on her face before. Now this is a miracle. I'm seeing this face for the first time in 100 years. Toмотake must be feeling the same way. His image of Takano was slowly falling apart as we spoke, I'm sure. No. Maybe he just found a new side of her to love instead.
高野って結構面白い人だったのでびっくりなのです。
I'm surprised that Takano is actually such a funny person. Also, I need Toмотake to say Nippa, please. Please?
やっぱりコミュニケーションって大事ね。
Communication is important.
人を知るのってつくづく難しいと思い知るわ。
It's sometimes so hard to tell what people are all about. We remained there and watched Takano spinning in delight for a while.
中には内緒で入れるのですから他の人に見つかってはいけませんですよ。
This is a secret, so no one can see us going inside.
そうだよね。
You're right.
高野さんを正気に戻しておくよ。
I'll try and calm her down.
僕はその間に鍵を持ってきますです。
I'll go get the keys now. By the time I came back with the key, Takano was totally calm again. She was obviously trying to hide how gleeful she was, though. I thought she was a mature lady, but she might still be a kid at heart. I think they called that something like gap moe. I picked that term up at some point from Kechi, but I'm still not sure how it's used.
では高野、富武、
Well then, Takano and Toмотake.
中に入る前にいくつか約束がありますです。
Before we go inside, you must promise me something.
ちゃんと誓ってくれないとダメなのです。
Otherwise, you can't go in.
もちろんよ。
Of course.
開かずの細工殿を古出家当主が自ら開けてくれる金を犯すのだもの。
You're willing to break the rules to open the forbidden storehouse for us.
約束は守るわ。
We'll keep our promises.
ダメだよ高野さん。ちゃんと真面目にやらなきゃ。
Takano-san, you have to take this seriously.
失礼ね。私はとても真面目よ。
I am taking it seriously. Laugh, 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 laugh.
僕の中の高野のイメージが今大変なことになっていますのです。
My image of Takano is falling to pieces right now.
私もよ。
Same here.
高野の株価が世界恐慌で大暴落って感じ。
Her market is crashing all over the world. Oh no, Takano stock's falling. Dramatically. Oh no, Rina said it before. It's not a good idea to think about problems on your own. I always hated the crazy part of Takano. I didn't want to be close to her. But I never thought she could act this way. She was acting almost like Rina does when in her cute mode. Had I known that she was as funny a person as this, I wouldn't have felt resentment toward her. I realize how important communicating can be.
まず細工殿へ入ったことは内緒なのですよ。
First of all, you have to promise you won't tell anybody that you went inside the storehouse.
誰にも教えてはいけませんです。
Do not tell anyone.
もちろんよ。誓うわ。
Of course I won't. I'll promise. Takano put her hands to her chest. She also forced Tomitake to do the same. It was funny to watch Tomitake trying to keep up with Takano too.
中はとても大切な場所ですから、怪我したり傷つけたりしちゃダメなのです。
Also, you can't damage anything inside the storehouse.
もちろん分かってるわ。
Of course not.
それで撮影は可能なの？
Is it okay if I take pictures? Me.
可能ですが、1枚100円なのですよ。
You can, but I'll charge 100 yen per picture. A what?
ジローさん、あなた今いくら持ってるかしら？
How much money do you have on you right now, Jiro-san?
1万円払うとお得な1日取り放題券になりますです。
If you pay me 10,000 yen, you can take all the photos you want.
安い。
That's a good deal.
払うわ。
I'll take it.
ジローさん。
Jiro-san. They paid me the money for real. Hanyu seemed excited knowing that the money could be used for buying desserts. Ow, ow, ow.
高野はとてもいい人なのです。
Takano is such a nice person.
あんたも現金ね。
You're so greedy. I finally got approval from Oshiro-sama, the master of the storehouse. We'd have no more problems now. No, that's just called chivalry. Paying for the photos you can take at the illegal storehouse? Chivalry is not dead. The ritual storehouse is behind the building with the convention room. Sometimes people come out for a cigarette break. I can't let anybody see us entering.
大丈夫。
You're good.
誰もいないよ。
No one is around. Tomitake checked out the scene and gave me the signal to go ahead. I nodded at him and unlocked the door. I pushed open the heavy door just far enough for us to sneak inside.
富武が表で待っていると不審に思われますです。
It'll look suspicious if you wait outside like that.
え？
What?
僕も入るのかい？
I can come inside too? He seemed surprised that I was asking him to come inside with us. Tomitake, of course, wasn't particularly interested in what was inside the storehouse. I expected his surprised reaction.
ジローさん、
Jiro-san,
リカちゃんが入れって言ってるのよ。
Rika-chan is telling you to come inside.
早く入って。
Come on now.
ああ、わかったよ。
Alright. Tomitake squeezed inside as Takano urged him. Yeah, I know. I was trying to say, like, trying to figure out a way to say it. I was like, you know, supportive boyfriend or whatever, letting his girlfriend be into her weird, strange hobbies. He's like, I'm just here for the ride, and also probably gonna get murdered. How unfortunate for me of a character. Tragic, actually. I turned the light on and closed the door. Then, I put the chain on from inside.
厳重なのね。
You're locking us in?
錠前が外れていることに気づいた悪い猫さんが入ってくると困りますのです。
Just so that a bad kitty cat won't sneak inside, you know?
悪い猫さんで申し訳ないわね。
Are you talking about me?
高野、猫は猫らしくニャーニャー鳴かないとダメなのですよ。
Takano, a cat is supposed to go all meow meow.
ニパー。
Nippa.
それはどういうことかしら？
What do you mean?
高野がちゃんと猫さんじゃないと見せてあげないのです。
If you don't act like a cat, I'm not going to let you see what's in here.
ちゃんと鈴付き首輪と猫耳も持ってきましたですよ。
I brought cat ears and a collar with a bell for you too.
これをつけて四つん這いになってニャーニャー言ってくれなかったら次の扉を開けてあげませんです。
If you don't put them on, get on all fours, and meow, then I won't open the next door. The Shrine Storehouse has two doors so that people can't see inside when the first door is opened. At the moment, we are inside the entry chamber. The real storehouse is in the room beyond.
え？
What?
リカちゃんもきついな。
Ah. That's a bad joke, Rika-chan.
いくらなんでもそんなの。
You wouldn't really.
それが試練ならやるわ。
Huh? What the hell? I'll do it if I have to.
これはリカちゃんが私の知的探求心がどれだけ一途で高貴か試しているのよ。
You're testing me to see how devoted I am to my research, aren't you, Rika-chan?
いいわ。あなたが望むなら猫耳と尻尾付きで四つん這いになって前足で顔を洗いながらご主人様大好きだにゃーだって言ってみせる。
Fine. If that's what you want, then I'll wear cat ears, bloomers, and a tail, crawl on all fours before an empty milk bowl, and beg, please let me drink your milk, master.
高野ってみんなと同じくらいの年だったらきっと部活メンバーに混じっていたと思いますのです。
This is so unserious. She definitely would have joined our club if she was around our age.
そうね。
I agree.
ほら、世界恐慌の時、ウォール街で紙切れになった株券が雪のように舞ったというじゃない。
Hey, remember how they said shredded stocks fell like snow on can't even read on Wall Street during the Great Crash?
なんかそういう感じよ。高野の株。
Takano's value right now reminds me of that.
さあさあリカちゃん、やり遂げてみせるわよ。
Bring it on, Rika-chan.
猫耳と首輪だけでいいの？
Are you sure I only have to wear the ears and the collar?
高野さん、
Takano-san?
そもそもこの扉鍵なんかないよ。
This door isn't even locked.
ほら、押せば開く。
See? Push and it opens.
そうなの？
Really?
あら嫌だ。私ったらみっともない。
My dear, how shameful of me. Hee, ha ha ha.
ち、
Toмотake has no sense of humor. He just turned off a lot of viewers who were looking forward to seeing Takano in the cat outfit.
と、冗談はこのくらいにして押せば開きますのです。
Anyway, he's right. You just have to push it.
ニパー。
Nipa. Once we went through the door, we found ourselves inside the storage area. There were no windows in there, so it was completely dark even during the day. There were several light bulbs hanging from the ceiling, but they were dim, and their light only exaggerated the darkness inside. Oishiro-sama's statue and the altar dominated the center of the room. They were surrounded by tons of ancient torture implements. They were all over the floor, walls, and ceiling. It looked like a torture room rather than just storage for tools intended for one.
これは
This
すごいね。
This is amazing. Toмотake was rendered speechless. There were nothing like those fake torture implements that they might have seen in a wax museum or someplace like that. The tools in this room are the genuine articles. I never like to think about it, but I'm sure some of them really were used. These authentic tools always have a big impact on the people who see them. But Toмотake was the only one who was shocked, since he was the only normal person in the room. Damn. So normal. Takano's eyes were sparkling. She was taking pictures while mewing like a cat. This place isn't special to me. Of course, I know I'm supposed to treat it as a holy place, but I'm so used to seeing all these things after coming here countless times since I was little. To me, it's nothing but a storehouse with a lot of old stuff inside. As for Hanyu, she says it's the only place the air from times past lingers in this present day, so she actually finds it comforting. I get in a good mood when I come here, because Hanyu gets in a good mood. This is a relaxing place for her. As I watched Tomotake's reaction, I noticed how totally off my values are from normal people's. Takano's reaction seemed more natural to me, in a sense. Hanyu seemed to be bothered by Tomotake's reaction too. Maybe it was a bad idea to let him come inside after all. Not like I could kick him out at this point. Hanyu and I sat on a cushion in front of the altar and watched Takano dance with childish glee while Tomotage made touching efforts to keep up.
どうしてこんなにもたくさんの拷問道具を作ったんだろうね。
Did I read that right? Made touching efforts. Yeah, okay. Touching efforts. Yeah, okay. I wonder why they made so many torture implements.
だって拷問というのは相手を屈服させるのが目的じゃないのかい？
The whole purpose of torture is to make people confess something, right?
こんなにいくつもおびただしい数や種類がどうして必要だったんだろう。
Why was it necessary for them to have so many?
二郎さん、
Jiro-san,
拷問道具には2つの脅し方があるのを知ってるかしら？
do you know that there are two ways to threaten people with torture implements?
一つは使用して相手を痛めつけることで効果を発揮するもの。
The first one is to inflict pain on the victim.
もう一つは使用するぞ、使用したらものすごい痛いぞと脅迫するためのものなの。
The other way is to threaten the victim by just showing him the tools.
そういう意味ではいろいろ物騒な拷問道具がたくさん取り揃えてある光景はそれだけで脅迫的意味を持つものだったのよ。
In that sense, having a countless number of them can give tremendous fear to the victim.
確かに拷問というのは実は高度な技術が必要だというような話は聞いたことがあるよ。
I've heard that torture requires skill.
程よく痛めつけてかつ殺さないというのは確かに加減が難しいことかもしれないね。
Suppose it's hard to really hurt people without killing them. Tomotaka acted like he's having a conversation with Takano, but his voice was obviously unsteady.
西洋の拷問道具の中にはやたらと装飾型で実際に使用すれば痛めつける以前にあっさりと殺してしまいかねない。ある意味拷問道具としては構造欠陥のあるものが少なくないのよ。
Some Western torture implements were so vicious that if they really used it on the victim, they would have killed him instantly.
まあ拷問道具も厳密には屈服を目的とする被験者を対象にした純粋な拷問道具と見せしめや娯楽を目的とする観覧者を対象にした虐殺道具に分かれるんだけど。
To be precise, there are two types of torture implements. First, there are simple tools that are simply used to make the victim confess. The other type is for entertaining those who are watching the torture.
これを混同して誤解している人が多いのが嘆かわしいわね。
I'm frustrated that some people can't tell the difference between those two.
じゃあ話を戻すけど、
Let me ask you.
これらの拷問道具で昔の人たちは何を屈服させようとしていたんだい？
What were they trying to gain from the victims by using these tools? Tomotage asked me that. He must have thought that Takano would say something far more scary if he asked her. She's forgetting that I'm just a little innocent girl.
私は鬼ヶ淵村の独自の戒律を厳重に守らせるためだったと思ってるんだけど、正解？
I think they were forcing their victims to obey the rules of Onigafuchi Village. That's what I believe. Am I right?
正解なのです。
Yes, you are.
これらの細具は実際に使用するためでなく、むしろ展示して村人を怖がらせて戒律を遵守させることを主眼に置いたものだと言われてますです。
Most of these tools were never built for actual use. They were simply displayed in front of the villagers to intimidate them.
だから実際にこれらの道具を使う時になってサイズが合わなかったり構造的に欠陥があったりで満足に使用できなかったという話も結構残っていますのです。
That's why there are records saying that when they actually tried to use them, some of them were the wrong size or simply malfunctioned.
でも実際に使用することもあったんだろ
So they really did use some of them then.
う？やっぱり穏便な話じゃないね。
That's not a pleasant story.
戒律を守らないとお社様のたたりがあるだけではおとなしくルールに従ってくれない人たちもたまにはいたということなのです。
Some people were just not obedient, despite the threat of Oishiro-sama's curse.
ねえリカちゃん、
Hey, Rika-chan.
ではこれらの道具は基本的に村人を威圧するために用意されているのかしら？
Are you sure that these tools were mainly used to intimidate people in the village?
本当の意味での綿流しの時、食人の宴に使った調理解体道具だっていう説があるんだけど。
I've heard that these were used for cooking and dissecting during the real Watanagashi. Hanya was making a frustrated face. She didn't want to remember the dark history of Onigafuchi village. People performed countless torture ceremonies in front of her, claiming that they were doing it in her name, the name of Oyashiro-sama. She asked them not to do that, but no one was able to hear or see her.
ノーコメントなのですよ、ニパー。
No comment. Nippa!
高野さんによく僕も聞かされるよ。
She always talks to me about it too.
大昔の鬼ヶ淵村の人たちは神様のお告げがあると麓に降りて人をさらって食べてしまったんだろう。
Long ago, the villagers of Onigafuchi would receive a divine message, go down to the foot of the mountain, kidnap people, and eat them, right?
どうしてそんなことをしたんだろう。
I wonder why they did that.
これもまた麓の人々に対する何かの見せしめなのかい？
Was it a display of force or something?
私はそこはおそらく食物連鎖で人間よりも優位にあることを自覚するためにやった一種の儀式だと思っているわ。鬼ヶ淵村が外部との交流を禁ずる最大の建前が、自分たちは仙人で村は聖地。
The text is trying to escape the bounds of the game box here. I believe it was a type of ceremony to make them all realize they were higher on the food chain. The greatest outspoken reasons Onifuji forbade intermingling with outsiders were that the village was a holy land, and they were, I'm gonna guess, transcendents, greater beings than humans.
汚らわしい人間と交流すると汚れを持ち込む。
Mingling with tainted humans will bring corruption.
そういうふうに言われていた。
That's what they were taught.
だから定期的に自分たちは人間以上の存在であることを自覚し直す必要があったんじゃないかしら。
So they probably need to reaffirm their idea that they were above humans at regular intervals.
日本にも晒し首があったしね。
In Japan, there was a tradition of displaying several heads on pikes.
見せしめは非人道的ではあるけど、抑止効果は極めて大だったというわけだ。
While such a warning is inhumane, it's an extremely good deterrent.
見せしめの犠牲者がひどい方法で拷問されて生きながら食われて絶命する。
The victim was brutally tortured in public, and then they were eaten alive.
そんなのを見せつけられたら。
What would you think if you saw something like that?
絶対に自分はああされたくないって誰もが思うわよね。
Anyone would simply think that they wouldn't want to be in that same situation.
日本には晒し首だけでなく貼り付けだってあったでしょ。
There's also a history of crucifixion in this country.
処刑場に高々と死刑囚を貼り付けにして観衆の前で恥ずかしめられながら長槍でブスブスと刺されるのよ。
They hung the victim and stabbed him with spears in front of an audience.
二郎さんもわかると思うけど、槍でほんの一月二月された程度じゃ人は絶命なんてできない。
You probably know this already, Jiro-san, but people don't really die from being stabbed once or twice.
腹部や胸部を貫かれればそれは十分に致死的なことではあるけれど、ギロチンなんかのようにきれいさっぱり死ねるわけじゃないのよ。
They might have a chance to die if they were stabbed in the stomach or chest, but it's not instant like a guillotine.
血がブクブクと溢れ出し、腹からは腸を引きずり出されて肺に血がたまり、最後には自らの血で溺れ死ぬ。
They bled from their wounds, their guts were pulled out, and they eventually died by drowning in their own blood.
そんな緩慢な死を思えば、ギロチンなんて人道的な発明よね。
In that sense, a guillotine is such a merciful tool.
そうそう、知ってる？
Did you know?
ギロチンってね、 貴族のために生み出されたんですってよ。
The guillotine was invented for the nobility.
銃殺や公主刑よりももっともっときれいにあっさりすっぱりと死ねるように生み出した。
It was invented because they were able to die instantly, which wasn't the case with shooting or hanging.
死の際まで特別扱いしてもらえる貴族のための処刑道具。
The nobles got special treatment all the way up to death.
フランス革命末期の恋愛を描いたなんとか物語っていう白黒映画があるんだけど、ラストのギロチンシーンは圧巻よ。
There's an old black and white movie that I know of. It's a love story set during the French Revolution, but the final guillotine scene is the best part.
観衆の嘲笑を浴びながら数珠つなぎの貴族たちが一列に並ばされて次々と一台のギロチンで処刑されていくの。
The nobles are lined up and bound in chains, and they get publicly executed on the guillotine one by one.
ちょん。
Snap.
はい次。
Next.
ちょん。
Snap.
はい次。
Next.
ちょん。
Snap.
人間の死がわずか一瞬でベルトコンベヤーの上の工場生産のように量産されていく。
Human lives are taken away like they're on a conveyor belt.
神父のお祈りも最後に言い残す言葉も何もなしよ。
There's no last words or prayers or anything. Cool story, Takano.
ちょん。
Snap.
はい次。
Next.
ちょ
Snap.
ん。もうそんな一瞬の死じゃ見せ物にならないからね。
It's not even that entertaining because it's over in a flash.
誰も個人の死に感情を抱かない。
No one holds any sentiment for their deaths.
観衆は一人の死を見てるんじゃなくて何十人もの貴族が長ネギをスライサーで削っていくみたいに手際よくちょんちょんちょんと跳ねていくそのちょんちょんの連続性をショーとして面白がるわけ。
The audience enjoys how the nobles' heads are sliced off like vegetables. It's like a show to them.
それに比べたら一人の人間をじっくりいじめ殺す方がよっぽど個人を尊重しているとは思わない？
I think it's more respectful to kill someone slowly and brutally. That way, people will pay a little bit more attention to them, right? God, Toмотake must really be into the freaks, honestly.
そんな濃密な死と拷問で飾り立てられたのがこのお社様という存在なわけ。
Oyashiro-sama here was the one who made this brutal torture possible. Takano raises her hand to honor the statue of Oyashiro-sama.
お社様という存在は結局人間が生み出した偶像なの。
Oyashiro-sama is just an idol created by human beings.
その偶像は恐怖で祭り上げられることで神聖化した。
That idol was worshipped with fear and made divine.
そう。人が法則や戒律で石垣を組み上げ、呪いやたたり、奇跡や恐怖の漆喰でそれを固める。
Yes, people laid the bricks of his church with rules and doctrines, strengthened it with the mortar of curses and malediction.
それらを積み上げて積み上げて、雲の上にまで届く高みを作り、その上に建てられるのが神という存在なの。
As they stacked and stacked those bricks up high, its height reached up to heaven and their god was placed above it all.
神は人が欲するゆえに人が生んだ人の手による存在。
Gods are born because people desire them.
つまり人が人を恐怖で支配しようと思った時に生まれる純粋な恐怖と血と拷問の結晶。
So when people seek to rule others with fear, they become the collection of blood, torture, and pure terror.
それがここではお社様という存在になるのよ。
And here, they call that god Oyashiro-sama.
つまり神の世界へ至る階段は神ではなく人の手で作られていたことの証左であり、私たち人間をさらなる高みへ誘う指針を示して。
In other words, this proves that the stairs to godhood are built not by gods, but by human hands, and shows the way for us humans to attain further heights, and... Her passionate lecture was interrupted by a loud noise. As I looked back, Hanyu was jumping up and down with her eyes full of tears. God, thank you, Hanyu. Honestly, she needs to fucking cut her off. Cut Takano off. She's taking up so much air. With her nonsense. Thud. 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 She was stomping the floor as hard as she could, making a loud noise instead of screaming out with her unheard voice. However, it all amounted to the same thing. Hanyu cannot be heard by people. That's not right. That's not right. I'm not like that.
羽生
Hanyu.
僕は人が死んだりとかいじめられたりとかそんなのは嫌なのです。
I hate seeing people getting tortured or killed.
みんなで一緒に仲良く楽しく暮らしてくれればいいのです。
I want people to be happy together.
もちろん僕たちが悪いところもいっぱいありますです。
Of course, not everything is perfect.
でもそんなのを望んだことなんて一度もないのです。
But I never asked people to do such horrible things.
羽生
Hanyu,
羽生は羽生よ。
you are who you are.
お社様なんてあなたとは関係のないことでしょう。
Oishiro-sama has nothing to do with you.
違うのです違うのです。
That's not right. That's not right. Sob, 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 sob. Cry, 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 cry.
高野は嫌いです。嫌いなのです。
I hate Takano. I hate her.
いつも僕のことをひどく言いますのです。ひどく言いますのです。言いますのです。
She always says horrible things about me. She's a bully. Was it a Was it a bad idea for me to bring Takano in here? I knew that Takano would get overstimulated and say something like this. Fortunately, Hanyu's rejection indirectly reached Takano, and she stopped lecturing. Somehow, Tomitake had heard the noise that Hanyu made. He pressed his finger in front of his lips and told Takano to be quiet.
何事なの？
What is it?
うん。
Well,
さっき子供が遠くで飛び跳ねるような音が聞こえたんだよ。
I just heard a sound like a child was jumping around.
この建物の周りで子供が遊んでいるのかもしれない。
There might be a child somewhere near this building.
そう？
Really?
私には何の気配も感じないけれど。
I didn't hear anything.
いや、確かに聞こえたよ。
I'm sure I heard it.
高野さん、ここへはお忍びで入れてもらってるんだ。
Takano-san, we're in here in secret.
リカちゃんの立場にも配慮して、もう少し静かに見学しないと悪いよ。
I think you should look around without making any noise. Takano seemed disappointed, but Tomitake was right. She had no choice but to be quiet.
富武
Tomitake,
周りに子供なんていませんですよ。
there are no children around this place.
そうかい？
Are you sure?
リカちゃんには聞こえなかったかい？
You didn't hear it either?
僕は確かに飛び跳ねるような音を聞いたんだけどな。
I'm sure I heard a noise.
もちろん僕も聞きましたですよ。
I heard it too.
遠くではなく僕のすぐ後ろでドタンドタン跳ねていましたです。
But it wasn't coming from outside the building. It was jumping right behind me.
富武には遠くに聞こえたでしょうが、僕にはすぐ後ろだったのでうるさいくらいでしたですよ。
I guess you heard it from far away, but it was very loud to me. I was standing in front of the altar, and the statue of Oishiro-sama was right behind me. Tomitake seemed freaked out after hearing what I just told him. Although he was trying to fake a smile, his face was turning pale. However, Takano didn't seem scared at all.
高野
Takano,
西宮殿の中でお社様を怒らせるようなことを言うのは禁止なのです。
you can't say things that would upset Oishiro-sama in front of him.
お社様がとても怒っていますのです。
Oishiro-sama is very angry now.
その声が聞こえませんか？
He wants to kill you. I heard Oishiro say, they hate Takano. Go away, leave, stop talking. Just leave. Can't you hear his voice? It's fortunate that she can't, to be honest. Even if she heard it, it would be nothing but tears. My job as a shrine maiden to begin with is to tell humans what Oishiro-sama is feeling. I'm responsible for speaking on Hanyu's behalf. Takano must have realized that I was very serious about what I just said. She apologized to me right away.
ごめんなさい。
I'm sorry.
いささか調子に乗りすぎたわ。
I took it too far.
お社様もごめんなさい。
I'm sorry, Oishiro-sama.
人が崇めればそれは神。
You are a god as long as people worship you.
たとえ私が崇めなくても神聖は侵されない。
Even though I may not worship you, you are still holy.
面白半分に冒涜したことを謝るわ。
I'm sorry for disrespecting you.
お社様は甘いものが大好きなのです。
Oishiro-sama loves sweet food.
僕を経由してお供えしないとたたりがありますですよ。
You'll get cursed unless you offer something sweet through me. Tomatake couldn't help but smile. Takano also smiled. She bowed to me, promising to bring over some cream puffs soon. Takano finally stopped saying bad things about Oishiro-sama. She also promised to bring me something sweet. Hanyu was still upset, but she was probably satisfied for the moment. But I didn't know what she meant by the 3 fingers she was showing to me. Was she telling me to ask Takano for that too? Being her shrine maid is not an easy thing.
お社様はシュークリームは最低でも3つ欲しいと言ってますですよ。
Oishiro-sama is saying that he wants at least 3 cream puffs.
僕が食べたいわけではないので誤解しないでほしいのです。
I just want to make it clear that it's not me asking for that. They took it as a joke I made to reduce the tension. Tomatake and Takano cracked up, holding their stomachs. Hanyu was looking at them with surprise, not knowing why they were laughing. My face, meanwhile, was turning red with embarrassment.
わかったわ。
Fine.
お社様のためにおいしいシュークリームを3つ買ってくるわね。
I'll get 3 delicious cream puffs for Oishiro-sama.
リカちゃんやさとこちゃんの分もいくつか買った方がいいのかしら。
Should I get some for you and Satoko-chan too?
いえ、僕の分はいいのです。
No, I don't need any.
その代わりどうしても聞いてもらいたい話がありますのです。
But there is something that I want to tell you.
何かしら。
What is it?
今日は西宮殿に入れてもらえるというわがままを聞いてもらえたんだから、それに見合うわがままには応えるつもりよ。
Since you let me inside the storehouse today, I'm willing to do anything for you now.
僕が今から話すことを絶対に信じてほしいのです。
Then, I want you to believe what I'm about to tell you now.
どうしてとかそんなバカなとかはなしなのです。
Please don't ask me why or make fun of me.
だから絶対に信じて運命に打ち勝って
Please,
私を助けてほしいのです。
please believe me and change fate to save me. Save me, Takano. Both of them are surprised to see such a serious look on my face. I was sure they'd be surprised. After all, I was about to explain to them that they were going to die in 2 days. I'm sure they'd want to deny that, but I knew a fair bit about their deaths. If I could explain it to them in detail, they wouldn't be able to laugh it off. I talked to them about it several times in previous lives, but they never took it seriously. I only have that slight possibility that they might believe me. Hopefully, the possibility is as small as a miracle. It should be engraved on the side of a die. My friends overcame their fates, and they all rolled a 6. Should I call that a miracle? Please, God, let me roll a 6 again. Please let them believe that death is upon them. Takano is just gonna be like, yeah. Yeah. Irie turned the light on as soon as he had finished his presentation. There were about 8 men wearing lab coats inside the meeting room. The man sitting at the far end was the only person without one. Upon seeing Irie finish his speech, he clapped his hands several times. Having noticed his applause, the other men in the room soon followed suit.
それはよかった。
Excuse me? New outfit? Unlocked? Excellent.
本当によかった。
Sorry, take a sip there. Very, very excellent.
この度の成果は個人的にもとても満足できるところです。
I'm quite satisfied with your progress.
入江先生の献身的努力の賜物ですわ。
Your hard work has paid off, Dr. Irie.
いえいえ、優秀なスタッフの協力があればこそです。
No, I would say it's because of my incredible staff.
すべてのスタッフに感謝します。
I really do owe them my gratitude.
これで完全治療のめどが立ったと言えるでしょう。
We really are getting close to finding a perfect cure.
まだいくつかの詰めは残っておりますが、それは時間と予算が解決する問題です。
There are a few more sticking points left, but they can all be resolved with time and financing. I gotta say, no shade meant to be thrown here, but like, this is such an ill-fitting, like, what is it, like, suit jacket thing. Like, this shouldn't be like this boxy around your body. I mean, I'm not some fashion expert or anything, but I'm thinking that's not the silhouette you want from your suit. You don't want. You're not. I don't think you're aiming for pure rectangle look draped over you. But what do I know?
それにつきましては、よろしくお願いいたします。
We're counting on your support on that front.
しかるべき人員と予算があれば、おそらく3年以内。
With sufficient funding and labor, I estimate we'll be done within 3 years.
61年度までには完全な医療体制を確立できると思います。
By 1986, we should be able to establish a complete treatment for it.
今後の課題は、専門知識のない医療機関でも容易に対応できるパッケージ的な治療方法の確立と、より安価で簡易な検査法の確立です。
From here on out, our challenges are establishing a treatment package that other unspecialized medical facilities can easily administer and developing an easier, cheaper test for it.
検査法に関しては、現在入江先生が血液採取から潜在患者を発見する方法を研究中です。
With regards to testing, Dr. Irie is currently researching ways to detect potential patients through blood samples.
この方法が確立すれば、一般的な健康診断と併用できますので、相当の低コスト化を実現できると思われます。
Once that process is established, the test can be administered alongside regular physical exams. I believe that will drive costs down significantly.
それは素晴らしい。
That's wonderful to hear.
現在の検査法はだいぶ大掛かりで高コストですからね。
Current tests are pretty involved and expensive after all.
いや、コストにまでお気遣いいただき、本当に感謝します。
Sorry, I'm truly grateful to hear that you're considering the cost too.
国民の健康はすなわち国益のはず。それに予算問題を出すのは本当に情けないことなのですが。
Healthy citizens are supposed to be our nation's assets, so it really is shameful to bring up the budget, but
削れるなら1円でも安くというのが当方の立場なのです。
from our position, we'd like to shave every yen we can off the costs.
もちろん理解しています。
Of course, we understand.
治療法は確立したが、コスト的に不可能では絵に描いた餅ですから。
If we establish a treatment that was impossible due to the cost, it would just be a pie in the sky.
机上の空論でなく、実行可能な方法で考えるのも我々の仕事です。
It's our job to develop a practical treatment, not a theoretical one. Toмотake started clapping again, and everyone followed him.
あなたは医師として優秀なだけでなく、本当に尊敬できる人格者です。
You're truly a respectable man, as well as a talented doctor.
あなたとお会いできたことを誇りに思います。
I'm honored to have met you.
いえ、本当に拍手をいただくのは、すべての方を治療できて、いわゆるお社様のたたりを完全に撲滅できた時です。
No, I can't sincerely accept your applause until every person has been treated, and the so-called curse of Oyashiro-sama has been exterminated. God, I don't know if I've pointed this out in the past, but when Takano has this, like, nurse's straight white, like, nurse's outfit thing on, doctor, whatever, and then especially with, like, Irie with the coat standing next to her, for some reason my head just goes straight to, like, trauma center under the knife Angie and what was his name? Dr. Styles. I don't know why. Did I read what was on Tomatake's badge? Let me see. Enhance. Visitor. Infectious Disease Surveillance Center. Infectious Disease Surveillance Center. You're telling me he's not just a random cameraman? Damn. Anyway, did I read this line? No, I can't sincerely accept your applause until every person has been treated and the so-called curse of Oshiro-sama has been exterminated.
それまでどうか連帯して頑張っていけたらと思っております。
We hope for your continued cooperation until that time.
こちらこそ。
Likewise.
私も入江所長の要求する予算が限りなく額面通りになるよう努力します。
I'll do everything I can to make sure you receive almost every yen in the budget you've outlined.
どうか引き続きよろしくお願いいたします。
Please keep up the good work. Tomatake and Irie shook hands, and the meeting room was filled with applause yet again.
では今夜のミーティングはこれまでといたしましょう。
That's it for tonight's meeting.
明日は皆さんもお待ちかねのメインイベント予算ヒアリングです。
Tomorrow's the main event we're all waiting for, the budget hearing.
各自奮闘しましょう。
Let's all push hard. Takano was being sarcastic, of course. The staff members in lab coats were smiling bitterly.
いや、必要な予算なら私も最大限配慮します。
Well, I'll give my greatest efforts for the budget you all need to.
私は本当は皆さんの味方になってあげたいくらいなんですよ。
To be honest, I want to be on your side myself.
ですが、上に説明するのも直接怒られるのも僕ですのでね。
But I'm the one who has to explain things to the brass, and the one they come down on directly.
申し訳ございませんが、しぶしぶ厳格に審査させていただきます。
You have my deepest apologies, but regretfully, I'll be rigorously examining the budget.
どうかご協力をよろしくお願いいたします。
Please continue lending me your cooperation.
それが富武さんのお仕事ですからやむを得ません。
That's your job, so we can't blame you.
どうか明日はよろしくお願いいたします。
We'll see you tomorrow.
では本日はこれで解散といたします。
In any case, that's it for today. Once Irie declared the meeting over, his white-coated staff gathered up their documents and left after glancing at the clock. It was almost midnight. The staff who were off tomorrow might be alright, but those scheduled to work needed to sleep soon, or it would hinder them the next day. Takano gathered up the butts from the ashtrays as well as the empty coffee cans.
あら、コーヒーを飲まない人もいるのね。
Straight up disease. Some people didn't drink their coffee.
せっかく会議用に認めさせたコーヒー代なんだから、ちゃんと飲んでくれないと、この分まで予算が切られちゃうのかしら。
We managed to get a coffee budget for meetings approved, but I wonder if they'll cut that budget if people don't drink it.
ひどいな。
Don't be so mean.
僕も仕事でいやいややってるんだよ。
I'm not doing this because I enjoy it, you know?
ああ、高野さん。
Oh, Takano-san.
そのコーヒー1本もらいます。
I'll take that leftover coffee.
じゃあ僕ももらいます。
I'll take one too.
すべて飲み切った方が予算請求には都合がいいでしょうから。
That way the budget won't go to waste. Ah, I see. Ha 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 ha. The two of them seemed more relaxed with the other staff members gone. Tomatake and Irie loosened their collars in a sign of relief.
リカちゃんとサトコちゃんたちはお元気ですか？
How are Rika-chan and Satoko-chan? Are they doing fine?
先週聞いた話では、サトコちゃんの検査結果が一時期良くなかったように聞きましたが。
I heard last week that Satoko-chan's test results weren't that good recently.
あれは取り越し苦労のようでした。
No, but it actually wasn't that big of a deal.
急に暑くなりましたからね。体がびっくりしてしまったんでしょう。
She was a bit out of sorts because of the heat wave.
最新の検査結果では非常に安定した状態に戻っています。
Her new results came out very stable.
入江先生は聡子ちゃんには特に熱心ですからね。
Dr. Ear is very passionate about Satoko-chan.
そんなことはありませんよ。
That's not true.
医師たるもの、すべての病める者には公平に全力を尽くします。
As a physician, I treat all my patients equally, to the best of my ability.
そして私に感謝してメイドさんになってくれればなお素晴らしいのですが。
But if she feels grateful and decides to become my maid, that would be wonderful.
いやはや、なかなかそうはなりませんね。
Though that's proven quite difficult.
さとこちゃんを完全に治療できる方法があれば本当に素晴らしいのですが、
It'd be wonderful if there was a way to completely cure Satoko-chan.
それはやはり難しそうですか。
But I guess that's what's difficult.
さとこちゃんのように一度でもレベル5に至った場合、幻覚症状の再現、いわゆるフラッシュバックに近い現象が起こりやすくなります。
Once a patient reaches the L5 state like Satoko-chan has, it's easy for them to re-experience hallucinations, similar to a patient suffering from flashbacks.
これは厳密には病気によるものではなく、精神の中に育まれる正常な防衛反応なんです。
Those technically aren't caused by the disease, but by the normal defense mechanisms cultivated in the brain.
厚物に懲りてナマスを吹くということわざにもあるように、過去の経験を積極的に生かそうとする正常な反応なんです。
Like the idiom, a scalded dog fears cold water, suggests the brain naturally uses past experiences proactively for our survival.
つまり一言で言えば心的外傷のことよ。
In simpler terms, emotional trauma.
しかも前頭葉に直接ダメージを受けていることが考えられるので、一般的な心的外傷よりもずっと繊細なカウンセリングと長期の投薬が必要でしょう。
Worse yet, we suspect she may have suffered damage directly to her frontal lobe, so she needs more delicate counseling and long-term medication than the usual trauma patient.
病気は治療できても
It's gotta be why she has that vegetable problem or whatever it is. Damage to the frontal lobe. Can't tell vegetables apart. You may be able to treat her illness, but you can't treat her mental health.
ということかい。
Is that what you're saying?
心的外傷に苦しむ人は社会にも大勢いる。
There are plenty of people functioning in society with emotional trauma.
その中の一人に混じれるだけでも、かつての聡子ちゃんの症状を思えば奇跡的な回復なんだしね。
Even if she's just one more to the mix, that's still a miraculous recovery considering the state she used to be in.
糖尿病などと同じに考えてください。
Think about diabetic patients.
不治の病ではあっても症状を抑えて元気に生活されている方も大勢います。
There's no cure, but many of them live happily by managing their condition.
さとこちゃんは今でも日に3度の注射を？
She still needs 3 shots a day?
いえ、だいぶ調子が落ち着いてきましたので、今は日に2度です。
No, she's recovered quite a bit, so she's down to twice a day now.
3度に比べればだいぶ負担は軽くなったと思います。
I think that puts a lot less strain on her too.
最初はだいぶ嫌がったんだけどね。
She was so afraid in the beginning.
リカちゃんがうまくごまかしてくれてるみたいよ。
But Rika-chan talked her into it.
ごまかして？
Into getting the shots, you mean?
さとこちゃんは生活資金の援助を受ける代償として私の研究に協力してもらっているということになっています。
Satoko-chan was told that she's receiving financial support from us by supporting our research.
では日に2度の注射は自分の病気のためでなく、
So, she thinks that she's getting 2 shots a day not because she's sick,
入江先生の研究の協力のためにやっているつもりなんですか？
but as a test subject for your research?
ジローさん、
Jiro-san.
聡子ちゃんに自分がどういう病気にかかっているのかを説明することはとても残酷な意味を持つのよ。
It'd be a horrible thing for us to explain to her what kind of illness she's suffering from.
前に話さなかったかしら？
Didn't I tell you this before?
ああ、いや、
Well,
思い出したよ。
I remember.
無神経なことを言って申し訳ない。
Sorry for being so insensitive.
富武さんもどこかでさとこちゃんに会ったら優しくしてあげてください。
If you happen to see Satoko-chan somewhere, please be kind to her.
そうですね。
Alright,
わかりました。
I will.
リカちゃんは本当に強い人ですね。
Rika-chan is such a strong girl.
さとこちゃんと同じような境遇のはずなのに、あれだけしっかりと生活できるんですから。
Her background is similar to Satoko-chan's, yet she's leading such a steady life.
すべてリカちゃんとお亡くなりになられたご両親のおかげですね。
We have Rika-chan and her deceased parents to thank for all this.
多大なる理解と協力がなければ、これだけの短期間では治療の糸口は見つけられなかったでしょう。
Without their understanding and support, we would have never discovered even a hint at a cure so soon.
人道的でない実験にもよく耐えてくれました。
She would endured our inhumane experiments very well.
ご両親の死をも乗り越えてくれた彼女の協力なくして今日の成果はありえません。
We wouldn't have the results we do today without her support after overcoming her parents' death.
なんとかその恩に報いてあげたいものです。
I'd like to repay the debt we owe her somehow.
そうですね。
I agree.
東京もリカちゃんとサトコちゃんが最大の功労者であることは理解しています。
Tokyo also recognizes that Rika-chan and Satoko-chan have rendered us a distinguished service.
必ずや二人の協力に見合う感謝を示すでしょう。
They will be compensated for the work someday.
あらあら、私たちにはコーヒーフィルター代まで渋るのに気前がいいのね。
Hey, you guys don't even want to pay for our coffee filters. Hee hee, hee hee.
だからそれをいじめないでほしいな。
Again, don't be mean.
昨年の話は高野さんに根を持たれっぱなしだよ。
You keep bringing that story up. Ha 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 ha.
でも私たち大人は彼女たちの協力に結局お金でしか報いれないのね。
But even though all we can do is to compensate them with money,
心で報いる方法があればいいのに。
I wish there was a way to pay them back from our hearts. Takano muttered like she's talking to herself, but it almost sounded as if she was talking to them.
きっと心で報いる方法は日常の中にたくさんあります。
I'm sure there are many ways for us to show our appreciation.
それらを一つ一つ積み重ねていくことでいろいろな形でお返しができると思います。
There are many ways we can pay them back.
入江先生は
Dr.
監督は日々そうしておられるようですわね。
Dr. Irie, I mean, Coach, I guess you're already doing that for them all the time.
私もあの子たちに何か親切でもするようにしてあげないと。
I suppose I should be nice to those girls too.
そうだよ。高野さんはそれでなくとも今日大きな恩をリカちゃんに受けたじゃないか。
Indeed. Plus, Rika-chan was very nice to you today.
いけない。
Ah, I nearly forgot.
明日の朝一でフィルムを現像に出さないと。
I have to take that film to get developed first thing in the morning.
ああ、本当に貴重な体験だったわ。
It was such a wonderful experience.
歴史、文化、その息吹、本当に素晴らしい時間だったわ。
History, culture, the smell of it, everything about it was wonderful. Irie wondered what she could have experienced during the day. Tomatake could only smile and act like he didn't know anything.
そうだ、高野さん。
By the way, Takano-san,
今日の最後にされたリカちゃんのあのお願いだけど、どう思う？
what do you think of what Rika-chan told us near the end today? What are your thoughts?
被害妄想だと思いたいけれど、
I want to believe that it's only paranoia.
本人だって明確な証拠は示せないって言ったわけだし。
She did say that there's no absolute proof either.
何かあったんですか？
What's going on?
話だけを聞いているとリカちゃんに良くない兆候が出たように聞こえますが。
From what you've said, it sounds like Rika-chan is showing some bad symptoms.
先週のリカちゃんの検査結果、
Her test results from last week.
私は極めて安定した良好な結果だったと思っているのですが、
I
入
thought
江先生から見て何か変わった所見は見受けられましたか？
they came out pretty good, but did you see anything different, Dr. Irie?
いいえ、
No?
今回もとても安定した結果でしたよ。
They were as stable as always.
さとこちゃんの検査結果が日本海の荒波だと例えるなら、リカちゃんは琵琶湖の水面のような感じです。
If Satoko-chan's results are a wave during high tide, Rika-chan's are the quiet surface of a lake.
二人の気象そのものですね。
Just like their personalities.
急性発症の可能性は？
What's the possibility of a sudden outbreak?
一体何事ですか？
What are you talking about?
まさかリカちゃんに症状の進行が見られるというのですか？
Don't tell me Rika-chan is showing symptoms of the disease progressing.
実は今日彼女から私たちに依頼があったんですわ。
Rika-chan asked us for something today.
自分の命が狙われているように思うので身辺警護の強化を依頼したいと。
She wanted our protection because she feels like someone is going to murder her.
そんなバカな。
No way.
一体誰が彼女の命を狙おうなどと言うんですか？
Who would try to kill her?
考えられない。
That's impossible.
リカちゃんは村中から愛されてるマスコットで、殺したいほど憎む人がいるなんて聞いたこともない。
Rika-chan is a beloved mascot here in the village, and I don't think she has any enemies.
僕も正直眉唾だとは思っています。
I think it was just her imagination, too.
リカちゃんは自分の命が脅かされている根拠を何だと言っていますか？
Why does she think that someone is trying to kill her?
追跡妄想や被害妄想の類だとしたら、確かにレベル5の初期症状と言えなくもありませんね。
If she's experiencing paranoia, she may be in the early L5 stage.
夢で見たと。
She said she saw it in her dreams.
そういう悪夢にうなされてとても怖い思いをしたので、落ち着くまで身辺護衛を頼みたいと言うんです。
She wants us to reinforce security around her because she feels threatened.
あのくらいの年の子なら夢見が悪くて怖くなってしまうこともたまにはあるかもしれない。
For a young girl like that, it's not uncommon to get scared after having a nightmare.
でも僕たちの立場上、それが単なる悪夢なのか初期症状なのかは慎重に判断する必要があるだろうね。
But we need to determine if it was really just a dream or if she's showing early symptoms of the disease.
わかりました。
Okay,
明日彼女には緊急検査を実施しましょう。
let's give her an urgent checkup tomorrow.
問題がないことを祈ります。
I really hope nothing is wrong.
今のこの村で彼女より大切な人間は存在しないのですから。
She's the most valuable person in this village.
何も問題がなければいいんだけどね。
I hope she's okay.
でももしそうだったとしたらどうしようね。
But what should we do if she is?
ジローさん、
Jiro-san,
リカちゃんはあれだけのものを私たちに見せてくれて、その見返りがあのお願いなのだとしたら、とてもささやかなものだとは思わない？
Jiro-san, if that's what she wants in return for what she showed us today, it's not even a big deal.
身辺に不安を感じるという訴えをしてくれたんだから、私たちはそれに応えてこそ信頼関係だと思うの。
If she's worried about her safety and wants to rely on us, I think we should support her.
これがお金でなく心で報いるということじゃないのかしら？
That's what paying her back with our hearts is all about.
そうですね。
You're right.
仮に訴えが彼女の言うように夢見のせいだったとしても、それに応えなければ私たちは彼女の信頼を失うでしょう。
Even if she was just dreaming, we'll lose her trust if we don't support her.
ある意味幸運ではありませんか？
This is our chance.
彼女に恩返しをする方法が一つ見つかったわけですからね。
We found a way to show her our appreciation.
確かにおっしゃる通りです。
Yeah, I agree.
それに彼女の訴えは私たちが当初から保障しているはずの権利でもあります。
Besides, she has a right to seek that support from us.
それでなくても私たちは彼女の安全を徹底的に守らなければならない。
Yes, we have to make sure to protect her at all times.
その通りです。
That's true.
それについては私ではなく皆さんの仕事ですね。
So that's your job, not mine.
どうかよろしくお願いいたします。
So please, give her your best.
わかりました。
Understood?
では高野さんの権限内でお願いします。
Takano-san, please do what you can to keep her safe.
東京から番犬を派遣するレベルでもないでしょう。
It's probably not so serious that we need to bring in the bloodhounds from Tokyo.
フルでリカが夢にうなされたので派遣をお願いしますなんて言えませんものね。
True. You can't ask them to come over just because Rika Furude had a nightmare.
了解しました。
No, protect Rika at all costs, guys. Alright.
山犬に最低4名の24時間警護を命じます。
I'll order at least 4 members of the Mountain Dogs to watch her 24 hours a day.
それはすごいな。
That's impressive.
私が上京する時の警護より厳重です。
That's tighter security than when I went to Tokyo.
だってリカちゃんにはそれだけの恩を受けちゃったんですもの。
She deserves special treatment.
そりゃもうすごい警護をつけるわよ。
I'll make sure she gets the best security in the country.
リカちゃんの暗殺を企むような奴らは絶対阻止。
No one would dare plot an assassination on her.
山犬の再生営を護衛につけるわ。
I'll get the best
大
body...
統領は撃ててもリカちゃんは撃てると思うなよ。
Jesus, I'll get the best bodyguards out there.
たとえ相手が超永久スナイパーでも守りきってみせるわよ。
Not even a super spy could lay a finger on her.
にゃーにゃー。
Meow, meow.
鬼ヶ淵村の神秘万歳。
Onigafuchi Banzai.
高野さん、何かいいことでもあったんですか？
Takano-san, did something good happen?
いや、その
Well, I mean... After looking through the items that had been donated for the auction, we had realized that there was nothing kids would be interested in. Yet she insisted that the show wouldn't be a success unless there was something that kids would beg their parents to buy. He's probably right. For that reason, we went to the toy store again today. We were trying to get the owner to donate something that would interest all the kids attending the festival.
なるほどね。
I gotta say, that, the whole, you know, maybe this is me just being a hater or something, but ooh, that whole stretch with Toмотaka and Takano and Irie, and even before that, a bit at the fucking the storehouse, and Takano just rambling, going off on her tangent. That was a slow stretch. Jesus, that was a doozy. Alright, here we go. Let's pick it up the pace. Yoshiro says, I see.
うちも先日のみんなのおかげで売れ残りをじゃなくて
I did get to sell off my old stock. I mean, you know?
いろいろとゲームを売ることができたからね。
Different games the other day because of you guys.
協力したいのは山々なんだけど
I want to support you if I can.
バッチャは叩き売りオークションが大人も子供も楽しめるイベントになることを大いに期待しております。
My grandma wants the auction to be something that both kids and adults can enjoy. That's what she's hoping for. You understand?
ダメかな、吉郎おじさん。
Can't you help us, Uncle Yoshiro? Well,
本家の大ババ様に期待されちゃあな。
if that's what your grandmother wants.
わかったよ。なんとか協力するよ。
Okay, I'll do my best.
断ると大晦日にどんな嫌味を言われるか怖いや。
I don't know what she would say to me on New Year's if I refused.
すげえな。
Wow,
ミオンとこのばあさんって本当に偉いんだな。
I guess Mion's grandma is pretty scary.
私は会ったことありませんけど、怖い人らしいんですのよ。
We've never met, but I have heard of how terrifying she can be.
シオンさんが言うには、趣味は人の生爪を剥がすことなんだとか。
According to Shion-san, she enjoys ripping people's nails off.
それはしーちゃんが脅かしただけだよ。
That's just Shi-chan trying to scare you.
レナはみーちゃんのおばあちゃんをよく知ってるよ。
I know Mi-chan's grandma very well.
とっても優しい人なんだよ。
She's a very nice lady,
礼儀正しくしてれば。
as long as you're polite to her. I'm impressed that she can refer to that monster as a nice lady.
礼儀正しくないと怖いのです。
She's scary when you're not polite.
あと、敬語の使い方が間違ってる人にも怖いのですよ。
Also, she's scary when you don't show proper respect.
ニパ
Nippa.
それは私には優しくないという意味ではございませんの？
So, are you saying that she wouldn't be nice to me?
ゲイちゃん、話ついたよ。気前よく教室してくれるってさ。
Key-chan, we have a deal. He said you could take some stuff. His laugh was a painful one.
どうして村人はミオンの言うことを聞きますのですか？
How come the people in this village always listen to Mion?
そりゃ、園崎本家の意向に決まってるじゃない。
It's the power of the Sonozaki family.
ミオンはその園崎本家のお姫様だもの。
Mion is like their princess.
誰も逆らえないわね。
No one would dare to contradict her.
リカもフルデ本家のお姫様なのですよ。
You're also the princess of the Furude family, aren't you?
ありがとう。
Thank you. The members of the Sonozaki branch families who own businesses usually get their funding from Mion's family. They can never go against the will of the main branch. The Sonozaki family made a fortune on the black market after the war, and they've invested those funds as capital into businesses run by their family and the villagers. They charge almost no interest and require no cosigners or collateral. So long as one gives a proper explanation, they'll provide a notable sum. The money has to be paid back, of course, but it's lent between family and community. They're willing to make some adjustments if one goes begging. For that reason, everyone is borrowing money from the family. And that, more than anything, is why they can never refuse a request from Mion.
よーし、じゃあみんな手分けしてこれはと思うものを探してくれ。
Alright, try and find something that might be interesting to kids.
探し方のコツとしては、できれば大きいものの方がいいな。
I need something big in size.
例えばトランプを一箱叩き売りしたって迫力がないだろ。
It's not that exciting to sell a deck of cards at an auction, you know?
でかいものの方が迫力があっていいもんな。
Big things will attract more attention.
つまり、大きくて高いものを狙い撃ちなのです。
So we need to look for something big and expensive. Oh, ho, ho, ho,
任
ho.
せなさいませ。
Leave it up to me.
そういうのなら大得意ですわよ。
I'm very good at finding things like that.
みんな、お店のおじさんの顔色を見ながら選ぼうね。
Let's try and be considerate of the owner too, everyone.
うわー、レナ見て見て。
Wow, look at
こ
Rena.
のぬいぐるみかわいいかわいい。
Oh, look Rena, not look at Rena. This stuffed animal is so cute. What? Oh,
かいかい。
it's adorable.
全部お持ち帰り。
I'm taking all of them home with me.
みんな少しは加減してね。
You know, you guys, please don't take too much. Okay? Shop owner smiled bitterly at us. Too bad.
ケイチくん、これは何だろ
What do you think this is, Kechi-kun?
う？ブランコって書いてあるよ。
It says swing on it.
ブランコって公園のブランコ？
Is it like a playground kind of swing?
うわ、重たい。
Wow, it's so heavy.
ああ、組み立て式のブランコだろ。
It must be a build-it-yourself swing.
庭や室内に置いて遊べるはずだ。
You can build it inside the house or outside in the yard.
公園のブランコのようなダイナミックな遊び方はできないけどな。小さい子が遊ぶには十分だよ。
It's not as big as the swings you see on playgrounds, but it's big enough for little kids to play on.
まあ最初のうちは面白いんだけどな。
It's fun in the beginning.
そのうち飽きて使わなくなると洗濯物を干すのにちょうどよくなるんだよ、これが。
But they'll eventually get bored with it and it'll be used to hang the laundry on instead.
やたら例えがリアルなのです。
That sounds like it's coming from experience.
圭一は持ってましたのですか？
Did you have one of these, Kechi?
前の家でな、
In my last house.
小さい頃のクリスマスのプレゼントに買ってもらったことがある。
I got it for Christmas when I was little.
何しろパッと見の迫力があるしな。
It looks really impressive, doesn't it?
いいチョイスだぞレナ。
That's a good choice, Rena.
はいケイちゃん、これを貼っといて。
Here, Kichan. Stick this paper on it.
後で町会の人に取りに来てもらうから。
People from the council will pick it up later. Mion handed Kechi a piece of paper that said Town Council on it. She was carrying around a whole stack of them. She's really thorough when it comes to things like that.
圭一さん、
Keiichi-san,
これなんかいかがですの？
how about this one?
家庭用プールでしたよ。
It's a small pool you can put in your yard.
ほう、それもなかなかいいチョイスだな。
Oh, ho, that's a good choice too.
ミオ、こいつも押さえとかないか？
What do you think, Mion?
ひなみ沢じゃ水遊びがしたければ沢へ行けばいいからね。
Well, in Hinamizawa, you can always go to the river if you want to play in the water.
微妙じゃないかな。
I don't know about that one.
でも金魚さんのプリントがなんだか可愛らしいね。
But this goldfish pattern is adorable.
レナはこのプールあってもいいと思うかな？
I think this pool is a good one. I think.
私もあっていいと思いますわ。
I think so as well.
これだけたくさんの水が貯められればいろんなトラップに応用が効きますのよ。
Doesn't it just look perfect for setting up all kinds of traps?
ダメだ却下だ。
No way, no way.
その威力を味わうのはどうせ俺に違いない。
I'm the one who's going to end up trapped in there.
却下。
We're not taking this one.
ならこれはどうなのですか？
How about this one?
ゾウさんの滑り台なのですよ。みー。
It's an elephant slide. Me.
これは僕も面白そうだと思いますのです。
I think this one is nice too.
僕もお持ち帰りしたいのですよ。
I want to take it home with me.
サトコが滑ろうとした瞬間に上からドンと押すとサトコがコロコロと転がっていくのよね。
If I push Satoko off the top, she would roll down like a ball.
ああ、想像しただけで楽しくなってきた。
Ah, wouldn't that be so much fun?
羽生もそんなサトコを見たいでしょ。
Don't you think so, Hanyu?
ああ、リカはサトコに意地悪して遊ぼうとしてますのです。
Stop being so mean to Satoko.
はあ、
How?
それもいいね。お持ち帰り。
That one's nice too. I'm taking it home with me.
はいはい、売約済みっと。
Alright, let me stick this paper on it. We enjoyed the privilege of picking donations for a while. I started to feel bad seeing the owner's troubled expression. I patted him on the head to try to comfort him. Rub, rub. Pat, pat. Nipa.
おお、麻雀だ。
Wow, this is Mahjong.
どうしたのケイちゃん？
What is it, Kichan? Kichi found something in the tabletop game section. I walked toward him to see what it was. There I saw a green mat on the table with the mahjong tiles all lined up on it. They were all arranged in a square shape as if someone was playing there until just a few minutes ago.
あれ？
Huh?
何これ、吉郎おじさん。
What's this, Uncle Yoshiro?
勤務時間に麻雀なんかやってたの？
Were you playing mahjong at work?
いやいや、違うよ。これはね、
No, that's not it. I'd expect to see board games and card games in the toy store, but not mahjong. I guess it isn't weird for a toy store to sell this, though.
うわあ、すっごい久しぶりだよ。
Wow, it's been a long time.
もうほとんどルールは忘れちゃったかな。
I think I've forgotten most of the rules.
おお、レナくらいの女の子が麻雀を知ってるなんてすごいじゃないか。
Whoa, it's incredible for a girl like you to know mahjong. Or, yeah, that's what he said.
ひょっとしてあれか？
Right? I think whoa, it's incredible for a girl. Yeah, a girl like you. Okay. Oh, let me guess.
以前に部活の種目になったことがあるんだろう。
You guys play this at the club, right?
去年の暮れでしたかしらね。
It must have been the end of last year.
もちろん私も大活躍でしたのよ。
Of course, I was very good at it too.
私の川にはトラップが潜んでいましたよ。
There were lots of traps lying in my discard pile.
ミオン、お前
Mion,
な、裏若き女の子が4人も集まって学校で麻雀かよ。
listen here. You had 4 young girls together and you played mahjong at school?
ちょっとケイちゃん、麻雀をバカにしちゃダメだよ。
Hey, Kichin, you can't underestimate this game.
ひなみ沢は豪雪地帯。
Inamazawa gets a lot of snow in the winter.
村の冬の娯楽は麻雀一色になるんだから。
The whole village enjoys mahjong in those months.
こたつでぬくぬくみかんと麻雀。
We hole up inside a warm room and enjoy some tangerines and mahjong.
テレビからは紅白が流しっぱなし。
We turn on the end of year music program on the TV.
風情があっていいね。
That's what winter is like here. That's probably how the Sonozaki family spends its winter. That doesn't mean the whole village does that.
そういえばここいらは豪雪地帯なんだったな。
I forgot that Hinamazawa gets lots of snow in the winter.
なるほど。こたつで遊べる大人のゲームといったら麻雀はど定番だよな。
I see. I guess mahjong would be the standard game adults play around the kotatsu.
ケイちゃん、麻雀をバカにしちゃいけないよ。
Kei-chan, mahjong is a serious game.
麻雀こそは男社会の潤滑よ。
It's a necessity in every man's social life.
四角いジャングルを囲むとき、男たちは東なら清流、西なら白虎、南は朱雀、北は玄武。
When they sit around the square jungle, they become Siryu in the east, Byako in the west. I'm sure I'm saying these right. Suzaku in the south, and Genbu in the north.
普段の上下関係やいさかいを全部捨てて対等な関係で戦い合うわけよ。
Abandoning their hierarchy and squabbles, they fight on equal terms.
その精神の尊さは古代オリンピックにも通じるものがあるってわけ。
It's the same spirit as in the ancient Olympic Games.
ね、
See?
すごいでしょ。
Isn't it amazing?
俺はそれよりもこいつがいつ部活に登場して罰ゲームが何になるかの方が怖えぞ。
I'm less concerned with that and more afraid of what kind of punishment you'll set when you bring it out at club again.
ケイチ君は麻雀わかるの？
Do you know how to play, Keshi-kun?
親父が好きでな。
My dad loves it.
お客さんが来た時メンツが足りないと無理やり入れられてたよ。
He always forces me to play when he doesn't have enough people to play with.
強いかどうかはともかくルールはわかる。
I don't know if I'm good, but I know the rules.
不計算はできないけどな。
I don't know how to calculate anything, though.
それはそうと、なんでこんなところに麻雀が出てるわけだ？
Anyway, why is there a mahjong table here? Everyone looked at the owner.
いやね、お昼に来たお客さんと話してたらツバメ返しができるっていうんで見せてもらったんだよ。
Well, I was talking with a customer this afternoon and he said he could show me how to do the Subame Gaishi.
な、
What?
ツバメ返しだって？
Did you say the Subame Gaishi?
麻雀史上究極の荒技イカ様じゃないか。
That's the greatest scam in the history of mahjong.
古代中国にて伝説の達人が編み出したという中国拳法究極の技。
It's the ultimate technique developed in ancient China.
その威力は宝具と同じとまで言われ、あまりの恐ろしさに時の皇帝によって葬り去られたと聞いていたが、未だ使い手が実在したのか。
Its power was so great that the emperor of the time banned its use. I didn't know that there were people who could use it in this era.
ちなみにこれは親父の受け入れなので真相は保証しない。
By the way, this is a secondhand story I got from my father, so I can't guarantee the authenticity.
ツバメ返しって宮本武蔵だっけ？
Subame Gaishi, isn't that a technique of Musashi Miyamoto's?
麻雀とどういう関係なのかな？
How does that involve mahjong?
手牌と山牌を瞬時に入れ替えてしまう大技なのですよ。
It's a bold technique where you switch your hand with the wall in a flash.
みぱー。
Nipa. Nipa.
おいミオ
Hey, Mion.
ン、なんでお前はこういう痛いけな子にそういう悪い知識を吹き込むんだよ。
Why would you teach something that bad to an innocent girl like this?
いやーいやー
Well,
見てみたいな。
oh, I want to see it.
誰かやってみせてよ。
Can anybody do it?
リカちゃんはできるのかな。
Can you, Rika-chan?
知ってるだけでできませんです。
I only know about it. I can't do it myself.
さとこが一時期練習してましたですよ。
Satoko, weren't you practicing it a while ago?
ちょっと待てサトコ、
Wait a minute, Satoko.
お前その年でそんなのを練習するんじゃない。
Don't practice something like that at your age.
戦う前からトラップは始まっているなんて雰囲気は確かにサトコの得意としそうな雰囲気だね。
But she's a trap master. Sounds like something that she would do. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
相手が圧勝におごり油断した最後の勝負で仕掛けるのこそ最高のトラップタイミングなんですのよ。
Best time to set a trap is when the opponent is sure of his victory.
でサトコは結局マスターできたわけ？
So, did you ever get to master it?
練習はしてたんでしょ？
You were practicing, right?
実戦ではとても使えませんわね。
Well, I could never use it in a real game.
練習でほんの何度かできたことがあるっきりですわ。
Even in practice, I only succeeded once or twice.
へえ、
Wow.
見たい見たい。
I want to see it.
さとこちゃんやってみせてよ。
Do it for us.
みー、
Me.
僕も見てみたいのです。
I want to see it too.
仕方ありませんわね。
Very well, you all.
失敗しても笑わないでくださいませよ。
Don't laugh if I can't pull it off, alright? Satoko sat in front of the table and started piling up the tiles.
さとこはそんなすごいことをできるのでしょうか。
Do you really think Satoko can do it?
さあ、どうかしらね。
Well, I don't know.
成功すればすごいし、失敗しても可愛いし。
It'll be amazing if she can do it, and cute if she can't. I remember it made me curious, so I looked on YouTube what the moves do. Oh, that's actually cute. Yeah. What was the name of the... I'll find it. I will find this. One second, I'm typing it up here. I don't know why I didn't think of to check it up as well. Well, I was gonna be like, oh, maybe the game is going to like explain it somehow, but that doesn't make sense, does it? Let me see. Do I want this? Oh, this is the trick. This is a trick, though. Oh wait, this has got to be it. Alright, mind your ears really quick. Okay. Second screen experience. I've got it pulled up. Love the background music of Higurashi still going. Look at this grainy ass video. Challenge mode. So is it a sleight of hand trick? Is that what I'm understanding correctly? Whoa! He just grabbed a bunch of things. Here, I might be able to find this. Let me see. I don't know what the music to that one is, but let's try this one. What is this? This says failed. Here he goes. He's gonna do it, and he's gonna fail. Can't wait to see the fail. Whoa. Okay. I mean... it's the type of trick that'll get you shot in Vegas, as they always say. I think I've probably talked about this before, but my family, I had a lot of siblings growing up, and the thing that me and my siblings and then like my dad would usually do, like occasionally, like me and my dad would play chess a lot together growing up, but then like me, my dad, and like a lot of my siblings, maybe like especially at like a peak time when we really got into it, like about like once a month we would on a weekend get really into like playing poker, so we all learned like how to play poker at the time. And I only remember that just because that phrase where like if we ever talked about like cheating or how to cheat or different things like that, someone would always inevitably say like, oh, that's the, oh no, he would always, it was either cheating or if you reached over to touch someone's chips to like count, or you like even touch chips to try to like push like, let's say like the pot to someone else, even as like a friendly gesture or something. The joke would always be like, if we were in Vegas, you'd be shot right there or something, because I was supposedly it's bad form to touch another person's chips, even if you're trying to be kind, because in theory, I guess you could be doing some kind of sleight of hand, even like pawning or, you know, palming like chips or something. So that like dumb turn of like phrase would always just get caught or stuck in my head, like that's something that you get shot in Vegas for. Just pull the pistol out of your pocket or your holster and shoot them. Am I still good at poker? I mean, I'll be 100% honest. I mean, I know how to play. I generally find the numbers part of poker interesting and everything. And then obviously there's, I mean, I'm far from, I would say I'm far from very good at poker. Let's say that. But I understand like general things you should be looking out for. Obviously not like a master pro at card counting, but I knew of like tracking cards and stuff a bit. General, what's the term I'm looking for? General things just to like keep in mind, and I know how to play. I guess there's that. But I don't know if I'd even say I was ever good. I know how to play. I would say I'm decent. If you like stacked me up against people who barely have played, I'd probably be able to hold my own. I don't know. To be 100% fair though, in my adult years, it's been a long ass time since I played poker. It's probably been several years since I've even played a hand, just because I haven't had like the opportunity to. I think this is probably not something technically I should be admitting, but there was a time when I was like 16 or 17 when I was doing like, not for money or anything, but I still don't think technically I was supposed to be doing it, but I was doing like online poker stuff on like even like the family computer. Again, I was like 16 or 17, but I was just fascinated with going online and playing poker just to like try to practice and get better and stuff. Probably playing against like old heads. I don't know. Poker, we'd mostly play like Texas Hold'em. I really like playing blackjack in general. And then chess. Chess is fun. Again, I don't think I'm really good at chess. I've for the longest of time have both thought of getting back into chess and also potentially like trying to see what my like elo is on stream, because it's been a long time since I played chess. I just keep not pulling the trigger on trying that out. But I don't know how to play Mahjong. After all these years, I keep saying at some point I'll learn Mahjong. Every time I boot up a new Yakuza game, I'm like, this is gonna be where I learn Mahjong. And then I can't. I just don't. I just can't. Here we go. Rika says, I don't know. It'd be amazing if she could do it and cute if she can't.
照れてるサトコが可愛いから、私は実は成功失敗はどうでもよかったりして。
I don't care if she makes it or not because I enjoy seeing her act shy like this. Hee hee.
まずはですわね。
Well, first of all,
あらかじめ山の範囲に欲しい範囲を仕込んでおくことから始めますのよ。
you start by planting the tiles you want into the wall ahead of time.
なるほどね。
I see.
それと手配を一気に入れ替えちゃおうというんだね。
Then you later swap them from your hand? Or for your hand?
でもどうやって？
But how?
手品なの？
Sleight of hand?
だからね、手配と仕込んだ牌を一気に入れ替えちゃうわけよ。
Well, you instantly swap all the tiles on your hand with the planted tiles.
ぜひ実際にアニメーションか何かでご覧に入れたいシーンなんだけどね。
This is a scene I'd love to show you all through an animation video or something. Don't worry, Meow, I just did it for everyone.
文章での中継なので、そのあたりは想像で保管してください。
Since we can only use words here, please make up for it with your imagination. That's very funny.
ミーが誰に喋ってるのかわからないのです。
I have no idea who me could be talking to. Gotta love the fourth wall breaking there a bit.
と言いつつ、カメラ目線なリカちゃんもな。
You say, looking at the camera.
では行きますわよ。
Are you ready? Everyone gulped and looked closely at the table. Satoko moved her hands like a swan on a lake. She had 13 tiles in front of her. Then she silently flipped them all face down. Then she lifted them up by holding both ends and silently placed them against the back edge of the wall, keeping them hidden.
さあ、いよいよここからだよ、サトコ。
This is it, Satoko.
自信がありませんけど、行きますわよ。
I don't know if I can do it, but I'll try. We all went quiet. Satoko reached out towards the Yamahai. Then she grabbed the whole thing with her small little hands.
というわけで、ここで麻雀の詳しくない人にいかに山牌をつかむのが大変かを説明しよう。
Let me explain how hard it is to pick up the wall for those unfamiliar with Mahjong.
自分の手牌は通常13牌だ。
Your hand is usually made of 13 tiles.
この程度の数なら両手でうまく押さえつけるように持てば宙に持ち上げることだってできる。
If you push into them from either side hard enough with both hands, you can lift them up into the air.
不慣れだと失敗してぶちまけてしまうが、そう難しいことではない。
You might drop and scatter them if you're not experienced, but it's still not that difficult.
だが、山牌はそうはいかない。
However, it's not that easy for the wall.
山牌は基本的に17牌ある。
The Yamahai usually consists of 17 tiles.
しかも2段積みなのだ。
And plus, there are 2 rows on top of each other.
しかもここからが肝心。
This is the important part.
17牌かける2段を丸ごと動かせばいいわけではないのだ。
It's not as simple as lifting up 2 rows of 17 tiles on top of each other.
上段は17牌全部を、下段は端の4牌のみを移動させなければならない。
You must lift up the 17 tiles from the top row, and only the 4 tiles on the edges of the bottom row.
これを先ほど山の向こうに置いた手牌13牌にかぶせることで、手牌は山の中に埋もれ、さっき山牌を移す時に残した下段の13牌が自分の手牌として残るのだ。
By setting them on the 13 tiles from your hand placed behind the wall, you can bury your hand in the wall, and the lower 13 tiles that remain from the moving the wall become your new hand.
これこそ積み込み技の究極と言われるゆえん。
This is the ultimate technique, the Suame Gaishi.
全13牌を丸ごと全部入れ替えてしまう大技なのだ。
It's a technique that lets you switch all 13 tiles in a split second. Oh, I'm sure this will be important to the story at some point.
しっかりなのですよ。
You can do it, Satoko. I could see Satoko trying to concentrate. She was supposed to be doing this more naturally since it's a technique for cheating. And it's funny to say that, make a sarcastic joke about this being massively important for later in the story, because either A, I'm being sarcastic and being very correct, or B, I'm so very wrong, and people that know that something that ties to this moment is going to happen later in the story, and they're looking at their computer monitor, laughing, excited that I'm going to be shown up, and I couldn't be any more wrong. It's a win-win type situation for me. That's why you just gotta make bold statements. Bold, sarcastic statements. Just like I did about Takano. There's no way Takano will be able to redeem herself in these next 2 chapters. She was supposed to be doing this more naturally since it's a technique for cheating. But since for the moment it was just performance, I suppose it's fine. Someone audibly swallowed, and at that exact moment she made her move. There! Crash. She had put too much strength into it. Her tiles fell apart. What a fool.
やっぱり無理でございますわね。
I can't do it.
こんなのなかなかできるものじゃありませんわ。
It's not that easy, you know?
でも要領は今のとミオンの解説で大体分かったぜ。
I see. But I think I understood the gist of it from Mion's explanation.
ちょっと俺もやってみる。
Let me try.
レナも挑戦してみよ
I'm going to try too.
う。今のうちに覚えておかないと後で大変そうだからね。
I just have to master this one now or else it'll be troublesome later on.
僕も挑戦しますです。
I'm trying it too then. All of us except Mion took a seat and started piling up the tiles.
一見するとルールを知らない子供たちが麻雀牌で遊んでるように見えるんだけどね。
At a glance, you look like small children are just playing with the tiles.
その実態はツバメ返しの練習だってんだから。
But they're actually practicing this bubmanXIV.
私の部員たちは実にたくましく育ってくれたもんだよ。
I'm proud of how my club members are growing up to be decent kids. My hands, excuse me, and Satoko's hands are about the same size. If she can do it, I know I can too. Of course, I can't really use this trick during a real game. We were just playing around, but I was having a good time. I've never done this before in my 100 years of life.
手が不器用になった気がしますわ。
I think my hands are slowing down.
悔しいですわね。
I'm so frustrated.
最初の13杯を持ち上げるのも難しい。
It's so hard just to lift up the first 13 tiles.
は
Oh.
いいかレナ。両手の小指で挟み込むんだよ。
Listen, Rina, you have to use your pinky fingers.
そうそう。
There you go.
力を入れすぎると弾けるぞ。
It's going to explode if you push too strongly.
かといって力が足りないとうまく持てないしね。
But you have to use enough strength to lift it up.
その塩梅を得得する。
It's difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult to lift up the first 13 tiles to begin with. Not everyone can get past this stage. Satoko was doing well the first time, but she lost her concentration and is dropping her tiles now. I took Ketchi's advice and supported the tiles with my pinky fingers and lifted it up. Oh, I did it.
みー。
Me.
最初の13個をうまく持てましたのです。
I lifted up the first 13 tiles.
おお、やるじゃねえか。
Good for you.
なんだよ。リカちゃんが一番リードしてるぞ。負けられねえ。
Rika-chan has a lead on us. We need to do better.
リカも器用なのです。
You're good at this.
続きもうまくできますのですか？
Can you do the next step?
なかなか難しいわね。
It's not that easy.
でも誰よりも最初に成功させたいっていう気持ちはある。
But I really want to get it right before anyone else.
だって今はそういう遊びなんだからね。
That's what we're racing towards right now.
続けていくわよ。
I'm going to do it.
くそ、リカちゃんが一番乗りになっちまうのか。
Is Rika-chan going to be the first one?
次の入れ替えができればいきなり成功だね。
You're done if you pull off the next move.
次は牌がいっぱいあるから大変。
But that one is so difficult.
頑張れなのですよ。
Go, Rika!
リカ、正念場でしたよ。
This is the hard part. I had to lift up the whole top row and only 4 tiles from the bottom row. I probably didn't need to use too much force. I can do this. Crash.
はあ、惜しいな。
Oh, too bad.
やっぱり横に17パイもあるとそれだけで難易度は急激に高くなるね。
With the number of tiles increased to 17, got more difficult, didn't it?
僕が一番に成功させますです。
I'm gonna do this before everyone else.
きっとできなかった人には罰ゲームがあるに違いないのです。
There'll probably be a punishment for those who can't make it.
なんだってみよ本当か
What? Is that true, Mion?
どうしようかね。
Wonder what I should do. There were only 4 seats, so Mion wasn't even in the game. Did that mean that she could set up a punishment with no risk to herself?
はお
How?
みーちゃんはやってないのにずるい。
It's not fair. You're not even playing Mi-chan.
ずるいという暇があったら練習あるのみでございますわよ。
If you have time to complain, you should practice harder.
なん
Damn.
だか大変なことになってしまったのです。
This is getting interesting. I thought we came all the way to Okinomiya to get donations for the auction. Why were we doing this now? Although, that's why I love hanging out with these people. If it wasn't for them, I would have lost my soul a long time ago. I would have become a worthless piece of flesh. I've heard that rabbits can die from loneliness, but humans are no different. Humans can also die from boredom.
羽生、
Hanyu?
やっぱり今回の世界は何かが特別。
I really do think this world is special.
もちろんそれは個々にはいずれもあり得ることばかりなんだけど、それらがみんないい方に流れている偶然が奇跡的。
I know all these events could happen individually, but now they are all happening at the same time. It's like a miracle.
そもそも理科の運命が今まで不幸続きだったのです。
Your fate really was too unfortunate up to this point.
たまにはために貯めた幸運を放出してもらわないといけませんのです。
You deserve this kind of happiness every once in a while.
違いないわね。
You're right. If I have such a miserable and deadly fate, I do deserve some happiness that evens out the sadness. I felt like the luck I'd been getting in this life was something that I'd been saving up for 100 years. People I love are all healthy and happy. I also asked Takano to reinforce my security. I don't know if she really will, but she promised me. She never did that in my previous lives. I think her reaction to my request was the best one so far. In fact, she was skipping on her way back home. She must have been in a good mood. I was sorry for breaking the family rules, but I think it was worth it. I told them that their lives are also in danger, but I doubt they really believed that. They didn't seem too frightened by it. I'd have to give them a final warning on the night of Waranagashi. If I try warning them too often, they'd never believe me.
なら、私はもうこの世界でできる努力はないということなのかしら。
Does that mean that there's nothing for me to do in this world right now?
わかりませんのです。
I don't know.
その時が訪れてみるまで何もわかりませんのです。
Until the moment of truth is here, it's impossible to tell. I'm blessed with miraculously good fortune in this world. I gave it my best effort using all my previous experience. But did I do enough? I wish I could have my fortune told. I just wanted something to tell me that I did everything right. Please tell me what my fortune is. And as soon as I made the wish, God granted it to me.
ありゃ、何ですかこれは。
Oh, what's going on in here? I suddenly heard a low voice. Keshi and Rina dropped their towels as soon as they heard it.
これは大石さんじゃありませんか。
Hey, Oishi-san.
勤務中にこんなお店に入っていいんですか。
What are you doing in a toy store during working hours?
どうもどうもこんにちは。
Hello there.
今日は非番ですからご安心を。
Don't worry, I'm off duty today. Also, this track. It should now be known as the Oishi theme. Just digging it. So yeah, he says, hello there, don't worry, I'm off duty today. No.
今日ってところね。
You mean bad luck today.
今日がどうかしましたか？
What are you all doing here?
はて、
Me? It looked like Oishi was ordering something from the owner. I wondered what this old guy wanted from a toy store of all places. Mion was wondering the same. She asked him instead of me. No.
いえね、麻雀のマットを丸めてだいぶ長いことしまっていたせいですっかり反り返ってしまったんです。
My mahjong mat is warped because it kept it rolled up in storage for a long time.
こたつの板裏もすっかり緑の布が剥げちゃってて使い物にならず困ってたんですよ。
The green cloth is peeling off the underside of my kotatsu board too, so I couldn't use that one either.
ほう、雀荘じゃなくてご自宅で麻雀ですか？
You playing mahjong at home?
優雅な休日の過ごし方なことで、
That's a nice way to spend your day off.
大方妙な語呂とトラブルでも起こして出禁でも食らったんじゃありません？
Perhaps you got in trouble at the mahjong bar and they banned you from going in there, or something.
まさかまさかご冗談を。
No way, no way.
公木たるものは遊戯場でも紳士でなくてはいけません。
I'm a gentleman in any public establishment.
そんなトラブルなんて起こしませんよ。
I never caused trouble, or any trouble like that.
それはさておき、皆さんも麻雀ですか？
Anyway, you kids like mahjong?
若い方は麻雀なんかできないと思っていましたよ。
I figured that young people didn't even know about that game.
我が部の精鋭を侮ってもらっちゃ困りますね。
Please don't underestimate my club.
およそ勝敗のつくものなら種目は問わず、
We'll play anything that has a winner and a loser.
どんな登場であっても背中は向けないのだ。
We never turn our backs to a battle.
それがたとえ麻雀、パチンコ、競馬、競
He's
輪、
gonna
競
try to
艇、
throw down.
果ては書道、聖火、ゲートボールまで何であろうと。
He's gonna try to throw down with them in the mahjong. We play mahjong, slot machines, horse racing, bike racing, boat racing, calligraphy, flower arrangement, and croquet.
最後には
Croquet.
足を踏み外すと下が溶岩や濃硫酸とかになってるところで戦わされそうなのです。
I think she'll make us fight in the middle of a lava pit someday.
大丈夫だリカちゃん。
It's okay, Rika-chan.
その登場は仮に死んでも単行本が 2,3 冊も進むとひょっこり生き返れる。
Even if you die on that battlefield, you'll come back out of nowhere 2 or 3 chapters later.
ケイイチさんとリカが何の話をしてるのかさっぱりわかりませんわね。
I have no idea what Kechi-san and Rika are talking about.
はて、これはどういう場ですか？
What are you guys doing?
まだ山を積んでるところですかね。
Are you piling up the tiles?
いえ、違うんですよ。
No, not that.
ツバメ返しの練習なんですよ。
We're practicing the Subame Gaishi. Subame.
ツバメ返しの練習ですか？
You're practicing the Subame Gaishi?
いやはや。
Oh dear.
この人なんだよ。さっきお昼に来てツバメ返しを見せてくれた人は。
He's the one who showed me how to do the Subame Gaishi earlier today. What did you say? They all scream. No.
実践じゃできませんがね。まあ、芸の一つですよ。
It's not like I can use it in a real game, but it's one of the tricks I can do.
大石さんでしたっけ？
Oishi-san,
ぜひやってみせてくださいよ。
will you please show it to us?
俺ぜひともその技をマスターしたいんです。
I really want to master that technique.
というかマスターしないと今年の冬の部活がやばそうなんです。
If I don't, I'm gonna get in real trouble this winter.
いいですともお見せしますよ。
Sure, let me show it to you.
あなたは間違えたらごめんなさい。
You must
灰原屋敷のお坊ちゃんですかな？
you must be the boy from the Mybro mansion?
あ、すみません。
Oh, sorry.
はい、そうです。
Yes, I am.
引っ越してきたばかりの前原圭一です。
I'm Kechi Maibara. I moved here recently.
こんにちは。
Nice to meet you.
あれ、ケイちゃんは初対面？
Hey, you've never met him before?
こちらはね、警察の大石さん。
This is Oishi-san from the police department.
綿流しの実行委員会にも警備の顧問として参加してるから、そのうち実行委員会の席で会えるよ。
He's on the festival committee as head of the security team, so you'll see him in the meeting too.
そうそう聞いてますよ。
Now, I've heard about you.
なんでも相当元気のある方だそうじゃないですか。
They say you're always full of energy.
叩き売りオークションの司会はあなたしかいないと皆さんおっしゃるんで、どんな方かお会いできるのを楽しみにしていたんです。
I've been looking forward to meeting you because everyone is saying that you're going to be a great auction host.
しかし司会とは責任重大だ。
You'll have such big responsibility at the festival. Let me say this fun fact: the first video where you watch this bubmanXIV is just filled with comments mention Higurashi because of this section. That's really good. That's really good. Everyone had the same idea and just clicked the first video basically being served up. I mean, I think the video was like 12 or so years old. So it's just probably 12 years of people being like, I was brought here because of Higurashi. Who's still reading Higurashi in the year 2024? Probably comments like that. I'd be willing to bet. So yeah, he says, you'll have such a big responsibility at the festival.
よく引き受けられましたね。
I'm surprised you accepted the offer.
実に勇気と度胸があります。
You have a lot of courage.
でも引き受けたからには頑張りますんで、よろしくお願いします。
But I'll do my best since I took on the job, so hope things go well.
前原圭一と申します。
I'm Kechi Maibara.
どうかよろしくお願いします。
It'll be a pleasure working with you.
おう、元気なだけでなく礼儀正しい若者ですね。
You're also a very polite young man.
若いのに感心です。
I'm impressed.
私は沖宮署の大石と申します。
I'm Oishi from the Okinomiya PD.
なんならクラちゃんでも結構ですよ。
You can call me Kura-chan if you want. No, no, don't call him that.
では大石は僕の席でやるといいのですよ。
You can sit in my seat, Oishi.
お、これはすみません。
Oh, thank you.
ではちょっくら失礼させていただきます。
Let me show you the trick then. He rapidly gathered up the tiles. I could tell that he'd been doing it for a long time.
柔道家は相手の帯の結び方を見るだけで段を知るって言うよな。
I heard that judo fighters can tell their opponent's rank just by looking at how he ties his belt.
まさにそんな感じっすね。
It's just like that.
ね。
No.
はいを積むだけで褒められちゃうとなんだか照れちゃいますね。
Thank you for complimenting me already.
はい。では皆さんよろしいですか？
Alright, are you ready?
参りますよ。
I'm going to do it now.
それ。ちょっと。
There you go. Thud, swoosh, clack, clack. All done.
はい。こんな感じですね。
I'm all done now. Wow, that was fast! We all broke out in cheers. You often hear the audience cheer for a big performance on TV, but it really was more impressive seeing in person. He did it so quickly too. He made it look so simple that anyone could do it, but everyone here knows that's very difficult to do. That was why we were all impressed at how easily he performed the trick. How?
すごいすごい。大石さんすごい。
You're amazing!
さすがですわね。
You're so good.
すげえです。マジで感動しました。
That was incredible. I'm seriously impressed.
俺に教えてください。
Will
もう
you-
一度スローで。
Will you teach me in slow motion?
いいですよ。
Sure, why not?
では私の真似をしてください。
Try and do what I do.
本当はスローの方が難しいんですがね。指の使い方なんかをよく見ておいてください。
It's more difficult in slow motion, but pay attention to how I use my fingers,
特に小指に注目しててくださいよ。
especially my pinkies.
まずこうですね。
First, go like this, right?
ここまではわかります？
Okay, you understand that part.
それから
Now, what comes next?
そこでこう。いえいえ違います。持ち上げなくていいんです。
Then you do it like this. No, don't lift it up.
前へスッとせり出す感じです。
Try and think of it as sliding it forward,
でも押すのとは違う。
but don't push it. God, I can't not think in the back of my head. There's got to be a reason that we're going through all this. There's a chance that we wrap up this chapter, and this has got to be like, no offense to this section, but the slowest and most non-exciting chapter we've had in quite some time. I feel like we are just, there's got to be a reason for that we're experiencing all this, because if not, oh boy. Just feels like weird filler then if it wasn't. Anyway, try and think of it as sliding forward, but don't push it.
ホバークラフトのようにほんのわずかだけ宙に浮かしてスッと。
Just slightly lift it up like a hovercraft.
ホバークラフトのような気持ちでほんのわずかだけ宙にスッと。
Slightly lift it up like a hovercraft. There.
あっくそ。
Damn it.
力は入れなくていいんです。
You don't need any strength.
実際は音をさせたらもう失敗なんですからね。
You can't make any noise, you know?
無音で忍者のような気持ちでスッとやります。
You have to do it silently, like a ninja.
忍者の気持ちでスッと。
Silently, like a ninja?
もう一回やります。見ててください。
Let me try one more time. It was strange. I'd never seen Kechi and Oishi play mahjong together.
なんだかケイイチ君と大石さんって仲良しになれそうな感じがするね。
Kechi-kun and Oishi-san look like they could become good friends.
やっぱり男同士だと通じるものがあるのでございましょうね。
I guess that's like male bonding or something. Oishi usually appears only after Takano and Tomotage get murdered on the night of Wadanagashi. He has only ever appeared on the scene as a detective. He always approached Kechi as a detective, so he never thought of him as someone he could trust. He only thought of Kechi as a decoy to expose culprits among the villagers, or some nonsense like that. So even when you see it, it's hard to believe that Kechi and Oishi are having a good time together like friends.
ケイイチと大石が仲良しなんて僕も初めて見ますのです。
I've never seen Kechi and Oishi getting together or getting along with each other.
でしょうね。
I know.
私だって初めてだもの。
It's my first time too.
これをどう受け取ればいいのかしら。
How am I supposed to react to this?
大石が現れた時、運試しは今日だって思ったのに。
I thought it was a bad thing when I first saw Oishi today. I couldn't understand this world at all. My heart was pounding and I had the strong feeling that I'd roll a 6 every time I threw the die. I should roll it again. I think I'll roll a 6 again. I'll know it before I roll it. I will roll that 6. And I will finally defeat my deadly fate.
いらっしゃいませ。
Welcome to our store.
あ、いたいた。
Oh, there you are.
大井さん、買ってきましたよ。
Oishi-san, I got it for you. My heart started racing. The voice sounds so familiar. I'd heard it before. But that couldn't be right. Hanyu always warned me. Don't expect too much. Couldn't be him.
ああ、赤坂さん。
Oh, Akasuka-san.
ご苦労様です。
Thank you very
お
much.
店すぐにわかりましたか？
Did you have any trouble finding the store?
申し訳ありません。すっかり迷ってしまいました。
I'm sorry, I got lost.
親切な郵便屋さんに声をかけてもらわなかったら、今頃どこまで行ってたやら。
Who knows where I would be now if that nice postman didn't help me. A young man was standing there. Whoa, look at that young man! He was wearing a casual outfit, holding a plastic bag in his hand. I always thought Akasaka wore a shirt and tie. He also seemed much smaller. He looked at me as I stared at him. Normally, you look away when you make eye contact with a stranger, but we stare at each other without averting our gazes.
赤坂なのですか？
Is that you, Akasaka?
ということはやっぱりリカちゃんだね。
And you are Rika-chan?
知り合い？
Huh? You know him?
赤坂さん、フルデさんと面識があったんですか？
Akasaka-san, you knew Furude-san?
これは驚いた。
That's a big surprise.
久しぶりだね。
It's been so long.
少し伸びたんじゃないかな。
You grew taller, didn't you?
赤坂こそなんだかたくましくなったようなのです。
You seem stronger, too. This is Mamoru Akasaka. He's a detective from the Tokyo Metropolitan Public Safety Department. He sometimes shows up in Hinamazawa in 1978. He has no relation to Hinamazawa or my deadly curse, but outside the village, he's the person I trust the most. I've asked for his help in the past several times, but nothing ever came of it. He's from so far away. He forgets about me once he returns to Tokyo. That's why I'd given up on him. Dang.
赤坂はどうしてまたひなみ沢に？
Why are you here in Hinamazawa again?
子供を両親の家に預けてね。
I left my daughter with my parents,
家内と二人で旅行に来たんだよ。
and I came here on a trip with my wife.
家内？
Your wife?
うん。
His wife? Yes.
君は家内の
You
命の恩人だからね。
You saved her life. Wow. Wow.
わからないだろうね。
You must have no idea.
赤坂さんはもう本当に素晴らしい愛妻家さんでしてね。
Kasuka-san loves his wife so much.
5年前でしたっけね。
Was it 5 years ago?
沖宮にまではるばる出張に来られたのに、入院中の奥さんのことが急に寂しくなっちゃって、仕事を放り出して東京にとんぼ帰りした豪のものなんですよ。
He was in Okinomiya for a business trip, but he suddenly abandoned his job to return to her side.
いやいや、愛のなせる技です。
That's how much he loves her.
奥さんとラブラブなんだかちょっぴり素敵かな。
How? That's so romantic.
あの時リカちゃんが東京に帰らないと良くないことが起こるって言ってくれたじゃないか。
You warned me that something bad was going to happen if I didn't go back to Tokyo.
どうしても不安になってね。雪江の病院に戻ったんだ。
That really concerned me, so I went back to right back to the hospital where Yuki was.
そしたらその日に屋上への階段で清掃員の事故があったって言うんだ。
Then I heard that a janitor got in an accident on the stairs that led to the rooftop that day. The tiles on the stairs were loose. The janitor fell down the stairs and got seriously injured. I knew that was going to happen because I'd seen him lose his mind after hearing about his wife's death in a life I lived a long time ago. Falling down the stairs seems like just the luck of the draw. I didn't think it would happen all the time, but it had happened to him over and over. So I thought there must be some kind of reason behind it. I guessed it was because of the broken tiles on the stairs. If he didn't show up at the hospital that day, his wife would have gone up those stairs. It was her daily routine, but she didn't go because he showed up. Meanwhile, the janitor went up the stairs and got injured.
だからリカちゃんは雪江の恩人なんだ。
Rika-chan saved Yuki's life.
私はそんなバカなって言ったんですけどね。
Now, I'm not sure if that's really true.
赤坂さんは女房の恩人に間違いないって言って聞かないんです。
But Akasuka-san has no doubt that you saved his wife's life.
今回もあなたにぜひ会いたいって強く要望していましてね。
He really wanted to meet you again.
確かにリカってたまに予言じみたことを言いますのよね。
Rika's good at predicting things sometimes, though.
さすがはお社様の生まれ変わりだね。
That's because she's the reincarnation of Oshiro-sama.
おっといけない。
Oops.
もうクマちゃんも佐藤さんも来てる時間ですね。
Kuma-chan and Sato-san should be here soon.
赤坂さん、ちょっと急ぎ足で参りましょうか。
We have to hurry, Akasuka-san.
では、前原さん、この続きはまた今度にしましょう。
Well, Myra-san, let's do this again.
その時は、もっと実践で使える技をご教授しますよ。
I'll teach you something more useful next time.
ええ
Sure.
ぜひよろしくお願いします。
Thank you very much.
じゃあまたねリカちゃん。
See you again, Rika-chan.
赤坂はいつまでこっちにいるのですか？
How long are you staying here, Kasuka?
綿流しのお祭りまでいるつもりだよ。
I'll be here until after Watanagashi.
長すぎる夏休みだろ。
Kind of long for a vacation, isn't it?
有給消化率が悪すぎると庶務から怒られてね。
Told me that I need to use up my vacation days.
山が一つ終わったんで室長から長期休暇を許されたんだ。
I just finished a big job, so my boss told me to take some time off.
お祭りにはきっと行くよ。
I'll be there at the festival.
聞くところによるとだいぶ盛大なお祭りになったんだそうだね。
I heard that's going to be a huge event.
そうなのですよ。
That's right.
赤坂の時のようなただの酒盛りではないのです。
It'll be more than just the drinking party you had last time.
赤坂さん、行きましょう行きましょう。
Akasuka-san, let's go.
君は雪絵の恩人だ。
You saved Yuki's life.
借りはきっと返すよ。
I'm going to make it up to you one day. Damn. That's a powerful line right there. That's a powerful line. Can he?
きっと君の力になる。
When that time comes, I'll lend you my strength. I will be killed in June of 1983.
あれから5年。体も鍛えた。経験も積んだ。
It's been 5 years, and I'm stronger and more experienced.
あの時のような無様な真似は
I'm
絶
different.
対さらさないよ。
I'm different now.
きっと君の力になれる。
I'm sure I can help you. I felt like I rolled a 6 without even throwing the die. Kasuka followed Oshi and ran outside into the bright sunlight.
羽生、これも想定内の幸運なのよね。
Hanyu, does this also seem like luck to you?
今回はいろんな運命がリカに味方をしているとしか思えないのです。
It seems like fate is on your side this time.
思えばおもちゃ屋での部活の日、
Remember that day we held a club activity in this toy store?
魚釣りゲームという運命を覆した瞬間か
The
らもう
mom-
世界は変わっていた。
The moment I refused to play the fishing game, this world started changing.
私の戦おうという意志の強まりが運命を揺るがしているということ。
My strong will is changing the path of fate. My strong will is going to change my fate. If I have a strong will, I can also change these results. We rode our bikes back home together. I was in a good mood. I almost felt like humming a song. I could feel my deadly fate slowly falling to pieces. I felt like my fate was urging me to move on. Just like the sun and the moon during an eclipse, the wheels of my fortune were perfectly matched for the first time in a long time. This really might have been a miracle. This wasn't like the true miracle of Kechi remembering the past. It was good fortune within expectations, but when it was arranged this well, it was enough to be considered a miracle. I couldn't remember the last time I felt so good in June of 1983. My name is Rika Furude. My ominous fate was moving away from me. With each step I took, that deadly fate withdrew further and further. I'd have to stay strong and take advantage of this miracle. I moved forward at high speed. Nagashi was so close. My luck and effort had brought about a miracle. And so, I will defeat my fate.
今度こそ
This time?
今度こそ。
This time for sure.
はいとおーなのですよ。
Go for it! Yay! The next moment, something happened. Kechi had accidentally scratched a motorcycle that was parked by the street. A group of 3 delinquents were trying to intimidate him.
大変なことになりましたのです。
Oh, what should we do?
見てなさい。
Just watch.
今の私の力ならあんな連中ひとひねりにしてやるわ。
I have the power to get rid of them now.
困りましたわね。おまわりさんを呼ばないといけませんわよね。
I think we should call the police.
大丈夫ですよ、サトコ。
Don't worry, Satoko.
僕にお任せなのです。
Leave it to me. Up to me.
リカ？
Rika?
リカ？
Hey, Rika! I walked toward the delinquents, even as I grabbed Ketchy by his collar. What the hell are these pathetic guys? Are they trying to stand in my way when I'm trying to have a happy future? I should teach them that nothing can stop me now. I know I'm rolling a 6 without even throwing the die. Say something, you punk! Are you listening to me? They continued to grab Ketchy's shirt. Ketchy, Mion, and Rina were staring at them with a vicious look in their eyes. I got in between them. Huh? What the hell do you want? Huh? Oh, wait. Ouch!
消え失せろ、三下ども。
Get the hell out of here.
私の運命をその程度で邪魔立てできると夢にも思うな。
Don't even think about ruining my fate. I plucked his nose with my fingers again. He never expected that a little girl like me would attack him. He seemed surprised, but he quickly returned to be angry. Then he picks me up by my collar too. Rika-chan!
やめなさいよ。話しなさい。
Stop it, you jerks! Let her go! Rika!
何か策でもあるのですか？
Do you have a plan?
別にないわよ。
No, I don't.
でも今の私の強さならこんな障害は物の数じゃないことを証明してみせるの。
But I'm trying to prove that this is nothing compared to the power I have now.
この程度の運命にも勝てない運気なら今回も死の運命になど打ち勝てるものか。
If I can't deal with this situation, I'll never escape from my deadly fate. I rolled the die, knowing what I was going to get. I knew that I'd be rolling a 6. The next moment, 2 men in working overalls came up to the 3 delinquents and tapped them on the shoulders.
兄ちゃん、話したった。
Let go of her.
相手は子供やんね。暗情堪忍してな。
She's just a little kid, you know?
なんだよてめえは。
Who the hell are you?
俺たちは喧嘩を売られたんだぞ。お前らなんざ用はねえよ。
They started the fight. Shut up and go away. Those working men weren't just random people who were passing by. I knew who they were.
まあ、そっちで話そうやんね。ほら。
Let's have a talk over there. One of the men pushed the 3 delinquents to the side of the street. The other man spoke to me in a calm voice.
大丈夫ですか？
Are you okay?
リカさん。
Rika-san?
ありがとうなのですよ。
Thank you very much.
助かりましたです。
You saved us. He lent me his hand so I could stand up.
皆さんはもう行ってください。
Off with you. Now.
あとは私たちが処理します。
We'll take care of the rest.
どなたか知りませんが、ありがとうございます。
I don't know who you are, but thank you so much.
本当にお任せしちゃっても大丈夫ですか？
Are you sure we can go now?
ええ。
Yes.
気にしないで。皆さんは早く行ってください。
Don't worry about us.
本当にありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
うちのケイチさんが無様で申し訳ありませんわね。
I can hardly believe that Ketchy-san was so weak.
じゃあ行こうみんな。
Let's go, everyone. We got back on our bikes in a hurry and left the scene. They had no idea who saved us, but we're glad that all of us were safe. But I knew who they were. Those must have been the security guards who worked for Takano. Takano kept her promise. Those guys are professional bodyguards. They only do what they are ordered to, but they make sure their mission is complete. If Takano told them to protect me, that's the best protection I can get. After we left the scene, a white van with 2 men in it followed us. Young girl reporting. Ours moving to the safe zone. We'll continue escorting her. This is Heron. Roger that. Everything was working in my favor for the first time ever. The pedals seemed so light that day. I felt like I could fly into the sky if I wanted to. Is that it? Alright, I have a confession to make. Not really confession, but I have a theory here. I want to say I think things are working too well for Rika here. I have the bad feeling that what's going to end up happening is everything is, as she describes, she's rolling natural 20s, she's rolling natural 6s over and over again. Things seem to be lining up so well. Everything working out perfectly. And somehow will still come up short at the end. I have a bad feeling. I hate to be such a pessimist, but I'm like, I feel as if it's setting us up for that moment where we feel so good and we're like, damn, it's actually going to work out for her. And I feel like it's a final, like, cruel twist of fate at the end of this chapter is going to be that it's still something bad goes wrong. Something bad happens. And it's still not enough. Despite everything lining up so perfectly. It just feels like something that would be done here. You know what I mean? That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like it's painting this bright, happy, fun picture way too well. Way too simple. It's too easy. All these things lining up, too simple. We're like, damn, the story wants us to catch us off guard and be like, man, there's no way this fails after everything works out so perfectly. Everyone and everything is falling into place just as they should to give maximum chance of Rika not dying. And it's a cruel twist because Rika, even though she's so hardened and so like prior, at the start of this chapter and all, she was like talking about how she was just so like basically dead inside, and she was like, there's no hope for us no matter what I do. Things are just written in the stone that we call fate. It's always going to be like this. And Hanyu is over there going like, oh, and she's doing whatever. And then we start to see things change, and we're like, us as the reader are like, damn, it's finally fucking working out for Rika. The best or second best character in this whole story, depending on your tastes. and so I feel like it's lining up to give us that false sense of security. We're supposed to be like, damn, wow, it's like over and over again. It's working out so perfectly, but that's the point. I think it's too perfect. It's too wrong, or it's not too wrong. It's too right, and it's still not going to work out somehow. Either it's still just not going to be enough, or it's going to be another cruel thing where like just one final step is like messed up at the end. I think it could present it, if what my theory is correct, I think it could manifest in two different ways. It could be like everything works out perfectly, and then she still is murdered, and we're left wondering like, Rika and us as a reader are left wondering like, what else could be done? Then her murder and her death seems to truly be set in stone kind of thing. Or everything works out perfectly, but then one last thing needs to fall into place. Or maybe it's set up somehow. Rika's like, this is the last thing. This is the only thing that could fail us. Whatever. And then we devastatingly read that like it falls through. Something bad happens. The one thing doesn't line up, and that causes the whole tower to crumble kind of thing. That's what my theory is as of right now for this chapter. It's going to be a bummer if that's the case. Because even skeptical Rika here, she, like I said at the start of the chapter, she was like, I don't feel this is looking quite dire. And then it's just not going to work. I hope I'm wrong. Massively. Oh, her again? Before the flight.
これが航空券だ。
Oh,
遅れ
it's
ん
a
なよ。
punk. Here's your plane ticket. Don't be late.
後の金は現地で。
You'll get the rest of the money when you get there.
大きに大きに。おい、マミヤ。
Thanks a lot. Here, Mamiya.
サンキュー。私札幌って一度行ってみたかったのよね。
Thank you. I've always wanted to go to Sapporo.
北条の野郎にゃ気取られてねえだろうな。
Are you sure Hosho isn't suspicious of you?
大丈夫だよ。あいつバカだもん。
Don't worry. He's stupid.
でかいのは声と態度だけ。
Oh, hey, oh. He's got a big dick and a big attitude, but that's all he's got going for him.
そうなのかよ。
Is that so? Okay. I can only imagine that this is like, this tip is showing us like, maybe I'm thinking off the correct path here, but if we're in the timeline where everything is supposed to be falling into place, we're to maybe assume that this is in a timeline where this lady doesn't come and terrorize basically Rina and all that. Well, maybe I'm jumping guns. Let me, is that so? I just want this apart, whatever room they're in, I just want the apartment to just like blow up. It just just explodes while they're all in here. The next moment, they heard several cars coming toward them. The man looked out the window and saw 3 black cars screeching to a halt by the apartment building. Several intimidating men emerged from those cars. Some of them even looked up toward the window. He quickly hid himself behind the curtain. Shit, they're here! Run!
ちょっと、嘘マジ？なんで今日バレるのよ。
Are you serious? But why?
マミヤ、ボケっとすな。捕まったら殺されんぞ。
Come on, Mamiya. They're going to kill you. They heard the men running up the stairs. They sounded angry. Okay. Well, not the explosion I wanted. Oh, not the explosion I wanted. Alright, it's fine. Alright, well, great. Good stuff. Good stuff happening. Wow, we only read one section and it still took over 3 hours. Now, mind you, there was some extracurricular, some video watching. There was the story at the top of the stream, so I guess that's a bit misleading, but still, that was a long section. And I gotta say, like I said, not to be a harsh critic or anything, but not the most exciting or thrilling stretch of Higurashi reading, I would say, personally. But I guess a couple important things to glean from that. Couple important things. We're definitely not reading a second section. It's already even later than I thought. Even just reading one section would take us. So, thanks so much for watching. As always, hope you enjoyed. Nonetheless, let's see. Next week, I need to look at a calendar. Yes, next week is a full week, still not September. So, still should be a Higurashi stream Tuesday night. Still should be a Higurashi stream Saturday night. But just keep in mind, I still haven't nailed it 100%, but possibility that when we get into October, potentially, there might be a couple weeks where we only do one Higurashi stream. I'll hopefully be able to announce those weeks ahead of time, obviously, for helping schedule-wise, but just keep that in mind. I think that's all I have to say. Like I said, hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a nice rest of your night. Have a great Sunday. I'll be back on tomorrow, at least for a bit. I don't know exactly when, but probably most likely we'll want to finish Yars Rising. So we'll have that finale-wise to wrap up. And then, like I said, new games in October. Bunch of Spooktober games. There'll still be Higurashi Red in October. It just, like I said, might be 1 or 2 or 3 less streams than usually like the 8 we normally get like in a month, right? For doing simple math. But yeah, have yourself a nice rest of your night. See you in another stream. Until then, take it easy.